Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Our Kinky Kindles, the podcast that worries about the right holes.
We worry about the right holes over here at Our Kinky Kindles, doing our public service for our world.
Yeah. We normally record these episodes under the cover of darkness, but it is noon on a Sunday, so
as God intended.
But don't worry, we have had alcohol as per the requirement of this podcast.
Yes. Day drinking is an optimal choice on a Sunday. We had Sunday brunch.
Yeah.
We're brunch fans.
We're big fans of brunch.
We frequent the First Watch, but there's lots of options in our community that we went to First Watch.
We went to First Watch. And we shared a picture of sangria.
We sure did.
It was a small picture.
It was a small picture because, one of us had to drive back, and we're responsible.
That's right.
We're responsible. But we're keeping it going with Cayman Jacks. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, we love a good Truly as well, but we don't discriminate here. We are joined in our studio audience today by two incredible creatures. I mean, other people have these breeds.
Okay. I don't know what we were talking about.
Our producer will edit that out.
Yeah.
We're discussing our alcoholic Sunday beverages.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, how was your week?
My week
that I definitely have not heard about already.
That you've definitely not been updated on. Well, this is the week after Easter, and so it. I had to work on Easter Monday. Apparently Easter Monday, or Bad Monday as opposed to Good Friday. Some folks were off in the public school system, or the students were anyway.
Students were off. I was there doing nothing, sitting around, twiddling my thumbs.
Nice. That's not something you get to do very often.
We did get to play testing bingo, which was a gigantic waste of time.
Testing bingo?
Yeah, because we're state testing next week.
I'm really glad that you got to play that game while on the clock.
That's true. You know what? A blessing, really.
Sure.
And there was ice cream that I didn't eat, but they're
doing their best.
The ice cream actually looked good, but I was just I was not feeling good on Monday. I needed to not be at work.
Yeah, you've been recovering from strep.
Well, whatever it was that I had. Could have been mono, could have been strep. Who can know it?
Oh my God. Working with the youths of America, this is part of the service that we do, working with minors, because they're perpetually ill.
Yes, they're breathing on me all the time.
And they're breathing.
The good news is that Curly Dog is not here to cause a ruckus.
We love the Curly Dog endlessly. The Curly Dog has passionate feelings for the orange cat, so.
And we don't know what those feelings are. They could be love, they could be hate. We know it's not indifference.
It's a strong feeling. Yeah, we don't know the trajectory for this. Is it going to be enemies to lovers? Is it going to be...
We know the orange cat loves me.
Yeah, the orange cat strongly expressed his love for you just today.
Just today.
I mean...
So sweet.
Yeah. Cue the sneezins. How was your week?
It was pretty good. Nothing... Well, I had that one thing happen. I'm not going to be cryptic on the podcast. That's weird. Some stuff happens when kids have mental health crises.
Exactly.
So that made for a rough whatever day of the week it was. But the rest of the week was uneventful, which
Thursday.
Yeah. It was Thursday.
A notable event, and yes, I do know about the... We will joke about so many things on the podcast. We try not to joke about real things that our clients and teens are going through because their lives matter, and
it was a true crisis.
Exactly.
And,
And on Thursday afterwards, we got to have a little nail adventure.
Yes.
And this is a new... Have we talked about this in the podcast before?
We said last podcast, we talked about our aspiring, we want to be nail girlies.
Yes. Okay. Well, in the interest of us continuing to be nail girlies, we got our nails updated because that's something about being a nail girly is
you have to keep going.
You have to keep going. And so it is a conspiracy, I'm pretty sure, just this whole nail industry. But we went back because Kay is working on, this was a trial run for the Eras Tour, Taylor Swift Eras Tour nails.
Yes. So I'm a Reputation girly through and through.
All the way.
And so obviously I'm going as Reputation, and I had this dream of obviously black nails with like a kind of a mirrored chrome finish.
Yes, and by dream we mean you had several photos. Like this was an attainable goal.
It's achievable for sure. So we did the black polish, looked amazing. It was super shiny, but then when they put the chrome on it,
bright green.
It was, and it's not like, and it wasn't ugly. Like
it was really pretty.
Not what I want. It was like a reflective green.
Yeah, like a UV sunglasses. When it's the green, like bright fucking green. And your jumpsuit. Can we reveal what you're wearing to the Eras Tour?
Sure.
Okay,
it's not a secret.
This is an audio podski.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be black Reputation sequins.
Yeah,
it's gonna be gorgeous.
Sequined onesie situation. You've seen the photo of Taylor Swift. It's like that, but it's like shorts instead of like a swimsuit.
Exactly. It's absolutely gorgeous. And but yeah, the green was not the vibe.
No.
And so chaos ensued.
Yes. So it was green the first time, and like you can kind of still see it like on this pinky. Just like at the very bottom, there's like a little bit of a green shine. So the second time it was blue.
The prettiest, like bright royal
blue for sure.
Yes.
But it doesn't, like, I'm wearing black, so the contrast wasn't, like, if it was going to be blue, it would have to be, like, a bright blue for the contrast, so that wasn't really what I wanted. And then, like, the third time, it was, like, holographic silver.
It was bright silver, and the darling nail girl, she was like, she was like, that's silver. And we're like, okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It was helpful. She was admitting it.
Yeah. I felt so bad because there ended up being like 3 or 4 people that were trying to figure out what to do. And thankfully, I am not a very confrontational or like
no.
asked to speak to the manager ever. And thankfully, my sweet friend was like, you don't want green on your nails.
There are a few things that like, I can tell that you are hesitant to say it, and I can just really confidently know that you don't want it. So I will just speak for you in those moments. And sometimes I feel weird about speaking for you, and sometimes I'm so confident. I'm like, no, can we try another color?
Yeah. I really appreciated that because I was just going to be like, well, it's green.
I know. It was so frustrating. And chrome, like, to the girl's credit, and it was not her at all.
Oh,
like,
no.
They genuinely needed like 3 or 4 different texts to like look at it, and because the chrome changes colors based on the color beneath.
Right. So I guess black is just really hard to finish that way because you have the pink or like it's like a purpley pink under your nails with the chrome
lavender.
Yeah, and it didn't really change the color of it except make it like shiny, and
it enhanced the color, but it still looks like the color. It was just so strange to have mine be just so normal and just so uneventful, and then Kay was.
I'll fix it.
Can we bleep that out?
Yeah, I can.
It was frustrating.
Yeah, so I ended up just doing like a top coat of like sparkly, silverly sparkles. So it's like it looks good. I probably will do something different for the actual concert. I don't hate it, but
that's not what you want.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't. It's not what I was expecting. So it's grown on me. But like when I first went, I was like, oh, it's not. When it doesn't meet your expectations, it's kind of like shocking.
But do we feel like this book has met our expectations for all that smut should be? The book we're reviewing today?
Our book that we're reviewing today is smutty as hell.
So in the smut department, this one delivers.
It delivers all kinds of good smut.
It truly does.
Yeah.
It meets expectations.
In that way, for sure.
It exceeds expectations, I feel like.
I was truly, the first time I read this book, I was truly shocked.
Yeah.
Because I've read, like, so we're not going to be cryptic. I mean, you're going to know what the book is because it's going to be in the title of the episode.
Yeah.
But we're reviewing Royally Not Ready by Meghan Quinn. And I've read pretty much everything Meghan Quinn has written, and she writes like really good smut, but it's not ever been like this.
She
writes a really good slow burn.
She does.
And usually it has like one or two like really, really good scenes. This one is not like that.
This one is, not only is there a good slow burn sexual tension energy throughout, or like at the beginning, there's a good will they won't they, and we'll get further into reviewing this, but it's like sex full on from the beginning. Like it's the moment in the boxer
main
briefs.
character,
No, they're not boxer briefs. They're briefs.
They're briefs, yeah.
Yes.
Like, but even from the moment you meet her, like she's like spraying it. She's doing like a wet t-shirt contest or something.
100%.
Yeah. So, okay. So we can go ahead and probably get into it.
Let's dig in.
We both have notes this time.
We do. I have, if y'all listen to the last podcast, I don't know what order everyone's going to listen to these in. You just choose your own adventure there. But I have the Kindle Paperwhite, and I love it. I love the dark pages, and I love to read it in bed. But the whole notes aspect is tricky with that. And so, yeah, this week I was like, damn it, I'm going to look up, maybe I will get a Kindle Scribe. And I looked it up, and I was like, I have an iPad that I will use instead.
Look.
It's an investment.
It's an investment. Yes, that is correct. It's an investment.
You get your return on investment here for your Kindle Scribe is enormous. Yeah. You have a fantastic return on your investment. I just also happen to have an iPad that I can use. So
it works out well.
So this time, yes, I have really, on my reread, I have got my happy little notes on my iPad.
Yes. So we can kind of, I don't know, we can probably go in order. You have notes from like the beginning and the end, right?
Yes.
And I have notes in the middle.
Yes. So we will hit. So yeah, if you need a clue as to who worries about the right holes, yeah.
Okay. But you just recently read this book.
Yes, I read it a little more recently. Yeah. Yes, within the past few months. But shall we get to our analysis?
Let's go.
Okay. Right. Royally Not Ready by Meghan Quinn.
Okay, so Royally Not Ready is kind of, I would equate this to like Princess Diaries for, like the porn version of Princess Diaries.
This is Princess Diaries if Mia Thermopolis was being trained by a very sexy man.
The hottest man you've ever seen.
In captivity, in his undies.
Yes, so basically through...
And if she was not a minor. For the record.
Yes, everyone in the story is a grown adult.
Consenting adult.
So, basically, the main character, whose name, Lily.
Yep.
Her family is from some made-up country, sort of near...
Torquisthorpe?
Let me tell you, you know how there's those TikToks that are like, when I read fantasy novels and it's like,
yes,
and the character goes, that was me reading the name of this.
Seriously.
I don't know.
And Lily in the book also struggles greatly with the name of and I think she's being sarcastic. Like, I think she could get it after a while. But.
Yeah, so I don't know. That can't pronounce the name. It's too hard.
And that's the point.
But it's a British adjacent type of little country in that area. And her mom's side of the family is from the royal line, but she left the crown for whatever reasons you leave the crown. Love.
Yes. She wanted to go to the U.S. to give her daughter, she fell in love, wanted to give her daughter a normal life. And so... so Lily is late 20s, and she's living her best life in Miami. And she's just, thriving. Her mom has passed, but she has a really wonderful career as a wet t-shirt contest bikini salesperson. She's thriving with her best friend Timmy, and they're living it up in Miami. Her mom has recently passed since she's been an adult, but She didn't know she had any surviving family members until Keller shows up.
So basically, hot bodyguard shows up and says, "Hey, you're a princess. You got to come train, and you're next in line for the crown.
Yes.
And so basically the book is the evolution of that story, and also her like fucking her bodyguard, basically.
So as you can imagine, this goes, if you're at all familiar, just use your spidey senses and sense the direction this is going. Again, this podcast is full of spoilers. We are chock full of spoilers. That's the kind of the whole point. We're reviewing it. And so we make no apology for that. But yes, this is going in the direction that you might think it is going.
Yes. Yep. So if you haven't read this book and you're sensitive to spoilers, you might want to slip on out and then come back when you've read the book.
Exactly. We love you and we respect your desire to not have something spoiled. And if you have an ounce of common sense, and if you've ever read a book, you know exactly the direction this is going.
This book does not have any surprises, I would say.
The surprise is the intensity that the bedroom has. But
yes, that was the major shock for this book.
Yeah, I do think, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of the other Meghan Quinn books that I've read, and we can cover them at some point. But I could go in my library and look it up.
I remembered, so last podcast, you talked about that book where there's a scene in the hallway where she's wearing a green robe.
Oh my
and he
God.
had hired her.
Yes.
So that's a Meghan Quinn book.
No way.
Yes. And I saw it. So Not Meant to Be. No. It's that same.
Oh, with the couch and the hearts.
And Not So Meet Cute.
Yes.
That's the one that we were talking about before.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So she does a good grumpy sunshine. We'll cover tropes in a minute.
She loves a grumpy sunshine.
Yeah. So this has got some strong grumpy sunshine energy. Okay. Shall we get into some of our highlights?
Yes. All right. You go. You've got the first ones.
I've got several, and then you've got some great ones in the middle, and then then I have some towards the end. But I will read the highlight, and then I'll speak on my note. But this is whenever Mr. Suit is what she calls him at first.
Mr. Suit.
Side note, Meghan Quinn, I read some reviews for this book, and Meghan Quinn does a great job, and according to others as well, with writing a pretty funny character who has some sarcastic moments, and
Meghan Quinn has a great sense of humor.
Yes, that's to be respected. These are not always funny, and I love a good, let's be a little lighthearted, because this is smut. This is not a great literary work of art. Be goofy. Have a sense of... Yeah, well, if you're worried about the right holes. Okay, so the highlighted part is folding my arms over my chest. I nod towards Mr. Suit and ask, so, been doing this for long? Fetching young women for your boss? Stiff, avoiding me at all costs. He doesn't say anything, but I catch his mouth twitch in humor. And my note was, we have an empowered woman here who doesn't put up with no shit.
That's right.
She's not intimidated.
She's not intimidated, and she's hilarious.
Yes, she's not, and he is not unaffected. He is affected by this.
Oh yes,
he's into it.
He thinks she's funny too, but he's got to put on the I'm mean.
Mm-hmm. I'm tough.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
And this is quick after the first time he sees her. She's in the middle of doing a wet t-shirt contest.
Exactly. Yes.
And he's well, there's our future queen.
The context should be noted. Yes, that's page 11.
Yeah.
That this is going down. So he's come here to fetch her, and she's doing a wet t-shirt contest.
I mean, make your money.
Yeah, for sure. And so, she's not bothered at all. But shortly thereafter, I also noted... He then turns the screen to me, showing off his black wallpaper. So he pulls her away, and he's going over he's trying to explain the situation to her. Mm-hmm. And he was not expecting this to be the situation at all. Yeah, so he's showing her all the information and trying to explain hey, you're next in line to the throne. And she's she doesn't care. But he then turns the screen to me, showing off his black wallpaper with all his apps lined up in folders. Who doesn't have a wallpaper on their phone? Seems a bit psychotic, don't you think? I noted, is it a red flag, or is he strong and stoic? Is it a red flag, or is he more reserved than you? Is it a red flag, or does he just not put up with your shit?
So I say this is not a red flag because I also don't have a background on my phone.
I mean,
But it's the aesthetic.
Okay, and to be clear, I do have all of mine. I should pull this up. I have all my apps and folders.
Me too.
But I have wallpaper. Definitely have wallpaper. You have wallpaper on your lock screen, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
It's just green.
You used to have a picture of...
I used to have a picture of my dog.
And then you got a new phone.
And then I got this new phone, and the aesthetic of my phone is just green.
Okay. It just needs to be green.
Yeah,
not green nails though.
it was not the right green.
It was beetle green. Okay, well, we will revisit the red flag, green flag concept
for sure.
with Keller, because there's some...
So last episode we declared that Brendan was a 5 out of 5 male main character.
Yes.
The perfect man.
He's the standard to which we will hold all other male characters.
Let me tell you, Keller is not that.
Keller is not that, and yet we are sexually attracted to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Which brings up the question of, can you be sexually attracted to someone but not want to build a life with them?
You know what? Yeah.
100%.
And for the purpose of the story, you know, obviously this is a happily ever after kind of situation. And for the purpose of the story, you forgive all of the red flags that you see.
For sure.
However, if this person existed, I would want him to not be near me.
We can hold the weird world of fantasy fiction and know that if this was a real person, things would be different. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we're just gonna call it things as they are.
He's got redeeming qualities. I'm not saying he's a bad person.
He has some beautiful redeeming qualities.
But I think there are things that are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not breaking point.
Oh, deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
We just had a stroke.
Yeah. Word salad. Yeah. Okay, there are definitely...
He has deal breakers for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I enjoy kind of sitting in the tension sometimes of things being a deal breaker for me relationally, but being hot sexually.
Yes.
That is a fun line to walk.
And Keller loves to walk that line. Because there are some things that he says, I'm like, if you ever said that to me, like outside of a bedroom, I would hate you.
But in a bedroom, it's hot.
Yes.
But like my higher sensibilities are like, this is against my values. So this just gets really interesting really quickly. And we'll get to the good places. But okay. Yes. Fast forwarding just a little bit, a few pages, he is trying to reassure her that he is not going to murder her. And
she jumps to murder many a time. She thinks,
you know what?
At some point she's going to get murdered.
That is a solid green flag right there. This girly, she listens to true crime podcasts. She's not stupid.
She is a true crime girly. She lives in Miami.
Yeah, she's not stupid.
Things can get crazy in Miami, let me tell you.
Yeah, she's aware. She's wise. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
But he says, she's saying something along like, oh, you're going to murder me. And then he says, trust me when I say it's in my best interest not to murder you. Now hang up, he says in such a forceful tone that I lean into the speaker of the phone. She's like talking to her friend Timmy. And I said, the feminism draining out of my body with a forceful tone. The feminism just leaves the room.
Oh, yeah.
Speak to me in a forceful tone.
I would just be like, I guess I'm hanging up the phone now.
Oh,
goodbye, Timmy.
God.
Yes, the feminism evaporates immediately.
Evaporates out of my body. I just highlighted on page 20. He's getting pissed with her just because she's trying to talk to him. She's trying to just...
At any point in this book, he is pissed.
He's just pissed with her.
Yeah, all the time.
Which, again, a real red flag relationally.
However,
a green flag sexually. The greenest of flags. But all I highlighted was fucking insolent woman. And my note is smiley face.
Just me.
Yes.
She's me for real.
I just fucking insolent woman. That is my sweet spot. How do you feel about being a fucking insolent woman?
So I probably have never ever been described in that way. Because
I know I have.
I know. Well, we know that A has, because A has a strong distaste for authority and for people telling her what to do. And I am not that way. Unless you have truly pushed me too far, and then I will be the biggest insolent woman you've ever met.
Can we edit that out?
I am going to edit that out. Oh no.
Just beep it. Anyway, that was just the name of someone who pushed your buttons to enough of a point where you were like, no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't want to give too many details in case you'll figure it out, but Kay draws a line. She draws a line. My line is drawn just like when I meet some people.
Yeah, just immediately.
Yeah. If they're in any kind of
I will
position.
not.
I shan't.
I shan't be doing that.
I shan't. I am immediately suspicious at all times. And so also though, I'm a Southern woman.
Yes.
And so there is a way to kind of beat around the bush and be lovely and relatable and kind while also being a fucking insolent woman.
That's right. Like, for example, if we were to, when we were in graduate school writing papers,
Yeah.
if the paper was like, if the professor was like, hey, give me about 15 pages on this, A would be like, you're going to get 25.
Oh, 100%.
And you're going to get a scathing review.
Yeah. Oh, man, I probably piss off so many people, but I know that I present very sweetly, and I'm sure people do it confused with me because they're like, this girl seems so kind and lovely, but she's saying such horrible things in this paper, and it's 3 times longer than it needs to be. Okay, but yes, fucking insolent woman. I do feel like from a literary perspective, that also captures Lily really beautifully. She is a fucking insolent woman.
Yeah. I love that in a main character.
Yes.
It's like a Lizzie Bennet.
Yes. Oh, good point. I do I do make a Pride and Prejudice reference at some point.
Oh, you do?
Because this,
They talk about Mr. Darcy in this book.
Oh, that must
because
have been the parts you reviewed.
Fitzwilliam, his name is like
Fitzy.
Yeah.
She keeps calling him Fitzy to piss him off. Yeah. The Grumpy Sunshine is
the OG Grumpy Sunshine.
Yes. Well, Pride and Prejudice is the OG of many tropes.
OG enemies to lovers.
Interestingly enough, I don't have a note with this one. I think it just kind of speaks for itself, but blast the heat, I said. So this is whenever they land in Tuscasort. And they land in
T-town.
This is actually, this is like a Scandinavian country. You said English. I think that there's some English heritage.
Oh, I guess they have British accents.
Yes,
so that's
he does. And so there's Viking heritage. There's some Scandi energy,
lots of fish stuff going on,
and it's apparently very cold there. And our girl is coming from Miami,
and it's hot in Miami.
It truly is.
Miami,
says 2 girls who've never been. But
I've been to Miami before.
Okay, you've been to Miami. I have not.
Yeah, it's hot as hell. It's the very bottom of Florida. It's hot.
Yeah, it's toasty, as they say. But so she says, blast the heat, I say. So also, side note, I know this is a little scrambled, but each chapter alternates Lily Keller.
Yeah, it's a alternating POV.
Yes. And so I enjoy, I mean, it sometimes does me confused, but I enjoy.
I like the alternating POV, and I also like first person. I know that happened one summer is not first person.
Yeah.
Which is very
that's
strange.
True. But it's still hot.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes in order for it to be sexy, like it kind of does have to be first person in order to get their perspective of their own sexual experience, but whatever. This Meghan Quinn makes it work. But blast the heat, I say, as I shiver in the corner of the car. Keller joins me, takes a seat, and then he turns toward me when I feel around the shared bench seat. What are you doing? He asks, irritated. My nipples. I think they fell off. Do you see them? Jesus Christ, he mumbles before strapping his seatbelt on. Jesus Christ is right. We're going to need some help from the almighty above if this is what summer is like. That's what she's like, yeah.
I 100% agree. It should not be cold in the summertime.
She's having to look for her nipples because they fell off.
You got to point it out.
Which we'll find out here shortly. They're pierced.
She's got lots of fun piercings going on.
She has some good, yeah, we'll get to that one. I have a note on it.
I think I do too, but.
Very good. Well, we may be overlapping notes here in a second. So they are at the castle. She's hanging out, so like they're at the castle and it's not what they thought it was going to be. It's not very, like, it's kind of creepy. It was remodeled in the 50s. There's but they're having to hide out there.
Yeah, it's not the main castle, it's like the summer home.
Yes.
But no one's been there in a very long time.
And they're having to hide out because there's been a betrayal. There's all kinds of things going on. But it's not what she wanted. She can't sleep. There's like something tapping on her window and his room is nearby. And he's caring for her. And then he's checking on her. He scared the shit out of her. But she's like, oh, you're being kind to me, blah, blah, blah. And then she said something, they're having this debate on whether or not he's a nice person. And then he says, it's not that I'm not kind. It's just that you irritate me.
I mean, there's a fine line. there.
Yes, my note is, if you tell me that I irritate you, I'm about to ramp it up to 11.
I'm about to be the most irritating person you've ever met.
Truly. If, like, that was a fatal, what is it? A fatal mistake whenever you say that you're irritated by me. I'm about to get real fucking irritated.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like me? Okay. Now you're really not going to like me.
Yeah, I think it's intended to make someone feel like, to make someone stop.
Mm-hmm.
It makes
me not want to stop.
It makes me not want to stop. Okay. Oh, this is something for you. Because they're learning about the terrain. It's super beautiful. There's volcanoes, there's mountains, there's lakes, there's rivers. And she says, well, look at that. You learn something new every day. Here I am thinking Torskethorpe.
Good old T-Town.
Mm-hmm. Good old T-Town has been inundated with Marvel fans. Something about active volcanoes. And I made the note, resident Marvel expert, care to chime in here? What Marvel hero is Torskethorpe?
Thor? Is that what she's trying to say?
Oh, I don't know.
Loki.
Perfect.
As in Norse mythology. Loki and... Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
A smut book about Loki. Now that would be...
There's a smut book about...
No, I'm saying that should
Okay, he is
exist.
a sad boy of all sad boys.
He is the saddest
A smut book
boy.
about Thor, not sad, depressed Thor.
No, sad depressed Thor is not the vibe.
Not the vibe at all.
But sad boy Loki, that is the vibe.
It takes all kinds.
I have a PowerPoint explaining this point. Exactly.
You do, I forgot. Yes.
Yes.
I can fix you.
I mean, I have the picture. Loki he's got that picture of himself on his knees. Like I'm just saying he's done this before.
Okay. Okay. I am
sit like
open to
that.
be convinced. Oh.
You don't sit like that unless you've done it before.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see where this is going. Yeah, I'm up for anyone if they'll worship me. She says from a committed relationship with one sexual
I thought you were reading a quote from the book, and I was like, oh my god, me too.
Same. No, I was looking down as I said it. Okay, you ready for another highlight?
Yes.
Thank you for chiming in as a Marvel expert.
Yeah, the resident, expert. I don't know. People are gonna come for me on the internet.
Enthusiast.
Probably.
Yeah, really.
Someone who enjoys the Marvel films.
For sure. Well, knows more than I do. I am an adjacent enthusiast. I'm into them if they're on.
Yeah.
Okay. Highlight, page 61. His eyes zero in on mine. His brows drawing together. And for the life of me, I can't stop chanting over and over in my head, spank me, when he gives me that look. My note is, this is the appropriate response when attracted to a hot guy. This is what should be going through your mind. Spank me.
I agree. I feel like that's not everybody's first reaction, but
You know what? Lily, through the mind of Meghan Quinn, that is what came to her mind.
yeah, not like touch me or kiss me. I want you to hit me.
Exactly.
Is it a red flag or is it?
It is red flags or green flags. I don't know.
We can't know
it. Well, we will review our heroine here at the end, and we will discuss. I mean, she is a very sexually empowered woman, and I really love it. And she knows what she loves. It's beautiful. Okay. Yeah. And then there's a Star Wars reference at one point.
Nice.
Page 64. She finally talks to her grandfather, and he's saying something to the effect of, "You're my only hope." This is through a video call.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
She's like, "Who am I, Princess Leia?"
Yes. Go off, my girl.
And I know that this is like a relatively short book to have such a broad character evolution, but she goes from being this irresponsible faloozy to being like, she steps up to the plate.
Yeah.
And she takes responsibility, and it's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but it is beautiful to see her be like, oh, okay, I'm being called up higher, and like, I didn't have a lot of responsibilities, and now I have the responsibility of an entire country looking up to me, and I am choosing to step into this role because I want to, and I will do this. And that takes character.
Yeah, and I like that she is going to assume less responsibility, but also she's still going to be herself.
Yes.
She's going to be the queen,
yes.
and she is going to be a sexually empowered
beautiful
woman with a sense of humor.
She's not ashamed.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. So she doesn't lose herself. And that's the beauty of an evolution, is it's not like she's being someone else, but she's being herself in this new role. And I just really appreciated that.
Yeah. I like that too.
Okay. Here's the Mr. Darcy reference in chapter 6. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Oh, this is what was giving Mr. Darcy to me. That's what the teens say. They say giving. It's giving anything. Yeah. From the moment I met her, so this is from Keller's perspective, obviously. From the moment I met her, I found her to be a flighty, independent, free spirit, someone who doesn't have responsibilities and therefore doesn't take much in life seriously. But she surprised me with how deeply she's allowed this to affect her. And if I'm honest, seeing how vulnerable she is, how despondent, it feels like a fracture is forming in his soul.
In his ice cold black heart.
Ooh, so beautiful. My note was, "You have bewitched me, body and soul. And I love you." Yeah.
Man.
The grumpy sunshine. It gets me every time.
It gets me yeah. Because it just feels like he's grouchy,
yeah.
but not only does he reveal his softer side around her.
It's really beautiful. And I do love hearing his wrestling with how much he wants her and how off limits she is. It's beautiful. But yeah, that's a similar, again, Mr. Darcy, against my better judgment. Against the better judgment at the actions of your family.
I feel like people need to go against their better judgment more often.
Go against the two mental health professionals. Go against your better judgment more often.
I think because people are in their heads all the time.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you just gotta throw caution to the wind.
That's a good point.
If you fuck it up, we'll try again.
Well, I mean, he's speaking to that of she doesn't take things too seriously. For the overthinking, anxious babies of the world, there is it better judgment? I think anxiety is sometimes not better judgment. It is intensified hypervigilance.
And potentially a protective factor. However, it's not always serving.
Exactly. So maybe listen to those fractures forming within you when you're falling in love with the party girl.
Yeah. Or the red flag bodyguard. We're not saying don't fall in love with people that have red flags.
Yeah. I mean,
no.
No,
you can't fix them. That is not something you can do.
It's not your job to fix them. You know what is beautiful is that Lily, it is never her intention to fix him.
No.
Slightly dazed, I open my eyes to find Keller carrying me over to the living room, his arms holding me with what seems to be little effort as he gently lays me on the couch.
Yes. So Keller, described by Lily herself, has just an insane amount of muscles. I think she
muscles
says
upon muscles.
Yeah, she describes it as his muscles have baby muscles, and those baby muscles have micro muscles, and those micro muscles have microscopic muscles, and so he is just, to us, he is just an unworldly other being. It's got to be, it's Thor-esque type.
Yes.
Strength that we're looking at here.
I mean, the word Viking is used to describe him as well, and so, which is giving Lego Man. This is a good example of Lego Man meets Sad Boy.
Yes, it is a combo Lego Man Sad Boy. He's very square.
Maybe that's why we both love him. Similar to Brendan.
Yes.
Lego Man meets Sad Boy.
Lego Man meets Sad Boy.
Maybe that's our own trope.
We like sad Lego men.
we like grumpy Lego men. I don't know. But yes, so this, as you were saying, he's a very attractive man. But so there are two bodyguards who are side characters in this, but they're in a relationship with each other, and they grew up with Keller. And Laura, one of the bodyguards, just accidentally trying to defend, hit Lily in the head with a broom, as you do. And so he launches out of bed, from which he is sleeping, the bed from where he slumbers, and
right next to her room.
The doors don't really shut.
They share a bathroom, and the bathroom doors don't shut all the way.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
This is almost a one bed trope.
It's so close to a one bed trope.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is. It's the same bedroom, but there's just a bathroom.
It's like a Jack and Jill bathroom situation, but the doors don't latch.
It's perfect. It's perfect. But so, yes, he launches out of bed because she's like up early or whatever. He launches out of bed and runs downstairs in what appears to be little clothing. We find out in a moment. But what I appreciated here is that he picked her up and carried her into the living room and gently lays her on the couch. And my note says, Kay, care to chime in here? Fantasy.
About the couch?
About the picking up.
Oh.
about the scooping up and taking to safety.
Yes.
It's not quite your fantasy.
No, well, I mean, because she wasn't in danger, really.
Okay.
But it's adjacent because
it's adjacent.
Yeah. Like, to be in a situation where someone has to carry you to a safe place.
Someone very strong.
And someone who's very strong and, like, they are, like, he rockets out of bed, can't even get dressed. He's so concerned. Like, she's hurt. Who did this to you?
It's who did this to you?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's what it is. That's the fantasy.
Okay. Yeah. Even though we know that it's literally Laura and she feels terrible.
Right. But we know that would be his reaction if, later on when bad things happen.
Which also, and I mean, it's like, I love these like stoic, grumpy men being softened into these like, I don't know, falling in love. Mm-hmm. It's just such a beautiful, it's the tale as old as time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you've gotten there in Akamath yet. Yeah. Dang. Well, I won't give it away, but.
Is it right, Reese?
Yeah, so there's like there's an interaction where there's a discussion on how much Feyre enjoys seeing men on their knees.
Amazing. Yeah. She just got back to Tamlin after the first week.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, no.
Yeah, so that won't be for a while yet.
I also love to see men on their knees.
Yeah, so it's like that. It's like bringing this big, strong, like solid exterior to his knees by just existing.
There is just, it's a feminine power.
Mm-hmm. The power of women.
It never gets old. It never gets old. That's why we're here today.
Woo!
Reviewing these things because it's a power that we love. Okay, it should be noted there's a really extensive description that she gives to what he's wearing, but there's a head injury. There's a head injury as things are a little blurry. Mm-hmm. It takes a minute to come to her. But on page 77, she's looking at his crotch, as you do.
Oh yeah, that's right there.
Because he's nurturing her. He's caring for her bleeding head, and she says, through her like foggy days, why is it so bulgy? Wait, is he wearing? Are you in your underwear? And then he says, still gently turning my head, he answers, I didn't have time to dress. And then you know what I wrote? My note is, of course he's in briefs.
Oh, they've got to be really tight.
Yes. And Meghan Quinn, to her credit, I mean, she needs a People's Choice Awards or something, but she goes into great detail about the shape and the size.
Oh, yeah.
And how the fabric clings to his dick in his undies.
Oh, yeah. She is, if she's good at anything, it's describing a man's body.
Let me tell you.
And it's a theme in her books. She loves to describe a penis.
It really, and you know what? Penises, they're not always the hottest thing.
No.
Okay, just a second. She's trying to think. It's a great bulge. A large bulge for a large man. I can only imagine what it's like when he stands. Probably hangs heavy. It's the only way I can imagine it. The fuck, Meghan Quinn?
What does that even mean? I like, because when I picture that, I'm like, what?
Yeah, a flaccid penis doesn't do it for me.
No.
But
But the thing is, like, when I'm reading it in the book, I'm like, that sounds pretty good.
Yes! When you're in the moment, you're like, okay, all right.
But in person, I'd be like, can you put some clothes on?
I could tell some real stories in the here and now that I shan't about my own sex life. That it's just, women's bodies are always beautiful.
100%.
The
nothing weird happens externally.
You know what? All bodies are beautiful. Let me say that. Like, all bodies have, I do think that the female form is especially lovely.
Yeah, it's more pleasing to look at in general.
There's curves. It's a soft body.
Yes, it's soft, it's curvy. There's nothing weird hanging around.
I'm want to be sensitive to folks of different gender identities, folks, but assigned female at birth. That's all I'm trying to say. It's just, I just appreciate that Meghan Quinn goes into such detail about his underwear.
She can spend a chapter describing. I feel like, because later on, there's a sex scene there's not penetrative sex in it. It's something else. And I feel like it's like 7 pages of like one, like, I think it might be oral sex or something. But it's like 7 pages of that one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. He spent 7 pages on that.
Skills. And I mean, there is an art to this, and especially for those of us who are trying to get off. We're not just reading it for literary. Like, sometimes we need a slow burn. We need to build up, and different bodies need different lengths of build up.
I talk about in my notes, like I note like throughout. It's like, okay, we're on page whatever, and there's still no sex. Like, we're on this page, and there's still no sex. Like, it's a slow burn.
But it does not... Oh, this is a good example of a book that is a slow burn, but is really not... It doesn't feel like a sexual slow burn.
It doesn't, because there's so much tension, but then, like,
it's very sexual tension. Like, it's not just like, ooh, will they, won't they? It's like, oh, okay, no, they're talking about sex.
Yeah, they talk about to each other. There's, there's banter.
We'll get to some piercings here in a second.
Oh, yeah, I've got... My first note's on page 99 in chapter 8.
Perfect. We'll swap out here in just a second.
But once, like, when the tension comes to a head and they start, like, doing their sexy stuff, it is ongoing for a while. Like, there's a lot of payout here.
Yeah, I think that in terms of, like, if you're coming to smut for the right holes... This is going to do it for you. Mm-hmm. I will say, and I don't know, I'm torn sometimes about talking too much about my own sex life, but we can normalize sex. Like, I think that
people be having sex.
I feel very comfortable talking about my own sexuality. Not very comfortable, but like I feel comfortable enough in this context. Obviously, I just don't ever want for my partner to feel as if he has been taken advantage of. So that's where I have some hesitancy. Yeah, at different times of the month, I want different lengths of buildup. I want different things.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because it ebbs and flows. Sexuality, our libido ebbs and flows.
And sometimes you just don't got time for the whole kit and caboodle.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes you just got to get in and out.
Literally. Yeah. Okay, I've got another good one. But yes, I feel like Meghan Quinn does do a great job of balancing all of that. Found a trope here on page 80. Again, this is Kindle, so pages are
it's ambiguous, really.
It really is. Around page 80 if you're on an iPad and at whatever size font this is. So she's in the kitchen, and he's talking about how she's so important, and she's feeling feelings, and the highlighted text is, Keller reaches out and loops his index finger under my chin, lifting my gaze. And I said, chin tilt trope works every time.
It works every time. And like, I don't know if anyone's ever done that to me in real life.
Oh my God.
But I like it. But also, I wonder if my independent brain would be like, stop touching me.
Yeah, I'm sad. Let me be sad.
Yeah.
I will say I had a very tall ex who, not very tall. My exes shan't ever listen to this, but anyway, the point is he was tall, and he would do this, and it was a lot. It was good.
It was good.
It was really good.
I really like that
one. It was really nice. My current partner would absolutely do it in a heartbeat if I told him that it mattered to me.
Oh yeah,
he would love to. It's but yeah, whenever I'm in my feels, I don't always want to be told to, it can feel kind of like a calm down, kind of like an invalidation of feelings, but in the right moment, used properly by a great author, it works.
Oh yeah, I love it in a book.
Yeah, I love it in a book.
I love it in a book.
Okay, and then there's this not famous, but the section that she refers to many times, but it's You Matter Most, Lily.
Oh, I have that highlighted too.
Beautiful, beautiful. Chapter 7. Even if you decide you don't want to be part of the royal life.
I have it later on. Okay.
Yes, because she repeats it many times. It really matters to her. And you go back to Miami. Until that time has come, you matter most.
Yes. And so I think my note for when I highlighted it, I wrote, and that, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, that's what it's all about. I just want you to tell me that I matter the most.
Yes, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Yes, that is really... And I think that's why it resonates. It's like, we just want to matter.
Yeah.
And we want to matter to someone who matters to us. We want to matter the very, very most.
I want to matter the most.
Yeah. It's a powerful thing. We love it. He says, do you understand? I do. I answer. Anyway, we absolutely love it.
Spicy.
Oh, this is all going down while he is wearing his briefs. And so
you have to have a full conversation while he's half naked. I mean, it's required for the book.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's why wouldn't you? But I highlighted here on page 81, I say, snapping my eyes up to his, but instead of because he's like, Lily, he's trying to get her attention because she's distracted
by the big dick.
Yeah, in her face.
Yeah.
And she's like, I say, snapping my eyes up to his, but instead of concern, I'm met with hungry eyes.
Oh, he likes it.
He caught me staring. Then he says, don't what? Don't look at me like that. Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Like what?
Tell me what you mean.
I ask, trying to play the clueless card. Would you like to know what he means? I have it highlighted. Would you like?
I would love to know.
Would you like for me to tell you?
Please describe to me exactly what you mean by looking at you like that.
In a low, commanding voice, he says, like, if I gave you the chance, you would drop to your knees and swallow my cum.
Whoa. And that, folks, is that is the baseline for how we are doing smut in this book.
That is, they've never talked about sex before now. And so the subject gets broached, and it's
immediate.
It is explicit out the gate.
Yes.
Out the gate.
Explicit. And the stuff that he says, that she says, is wild.
This is some dirty talk.
It's dirty.
Shoo, shoo, shoo. My note for that was all caps. Oh, okay.
Okay.
With the open eyes emoji.
Be shocked.
Amazing. Yep.
And she's probably in her, I don't know what her inner monologue is, but it's probably something like, she's kind of very into having his dick in her mouth.
Yeah, she's very down for going down.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. A few lines later, dear God, Keller isn't just a grump. He's a sexy, dirty grump. Yeah. The best kind.
The sexy, dirty grump.
Oh,
that is exactly my type.
God.
That's my type.
That's my type.
8-inch big. Ooh.
You're not going to be here for our silent disco.
I know.
You're going to be
you know what? It's going to be okay.
It's like the one thing that it's okay for you to miss out on.
I know. So we have occasionally where we live, I mean, we have silent discos all the time in the area, but the one coming up is the second of its kind, a Taylor Swift silent disco, and it is on the night of the concert that I am attending that is not in town. So my friend is going to attend the silent disco in my stead.
I shall.
And she's going to have a great time.
It's a Taylor Swift Friends and Foes. So there's 3 channels.
Yes.
So there's just Taylor Swift exclusive for like 3 or 4 hours, which, you know, she's got a large enough discography.
192 songs.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Something like
she needs
that.
to make like everything a multiple of 13. Which is a prime number. Isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, it is. I know this to be true.
Okay.
Yes. So for Friends and Bros, there's like, you know, there's channels that have people who are friends with Taylor Swift, like Selena Gomez, Gail, all the people, and then the Foes, which I think it's just like
Kanye.
Yeah, there's probably some Kanye on there. I know that they put her exes, like Joe Jonas.
Yes.
Last time Joe Jonas or like the Jonas Brothers appeared on both channels because they're friends now, but they are exes.
Yes.
And like Harry Styles appears on both because like they're exes, but they're also friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's cute. Like, I think they put a lot of intention.
It's not malicious or anything.
No, it's just like, I think a lot of the pushback, especially the first time, was like, I don't want to go just listen to Taylor Swift for 3 hours. Not everyone can be you, you know?
Not everyone can enjoy 3 hours straight and singing a 10-minute song with your whole entire heart.
Video lives rent-free in my mind forever. But, yeah, I think... Yeah, so the Friends and Foes is a fun, like, oh, it's not just Taylor Swift. Yeah. You can listen to other shit.
And then the one that we went to, like, by the end of the night, like, all 3 channels were playing, like, literally whatever they wanted.
Yeah, it got really fun.
Yeah.
So that is, we were talking about disco. So that is coming up. And, yeah, you're going to miss out.
It's going to be fine.
Because you're going to be with our Lord and Savior herself.
Yes. I'll be losing my mind somewhere else.
Exactly. I've got a couple more, and then I want to swap out because I think we're running up on each other's notes.
Yeah, my first one's in chapter 8. So.
Beautiful. Well, my first one's in chapter 8, so let me get this one. But she's talking manically about something, as she does. And
we need to pull that mic closer to your mouth. She was holding it away from her mouth.
This is a cute burp. Okay.
Carbonated
beverages. I'm not going to burp into the mic. I'm a lady. Talking about clitorises in the mic. Okay. But she says, man, from bikini to pantsuit. That should be the title of a book. Because she's talking about what she's got to wear. And it's like, I didn't
he
note
talks
with
about
that.
her fashion. Where it's like, she's got some sensible pantsuits. Like, shut the fuck up, Keller.
Exactly. I think they've got some different opinions on what she should be wearing on her body.
Yeah, I think she should wear whatever the fuck she wants.
Exactly.
But, you know, the Royals. There's some issues there.
Are you a Royal Family fan? Enthusiast?
I can't make myself care about it.
Okay, you're just not really invested.
Yeah.
You're a U.S. Royal Family fan, Taylor Swift.
Yeah. U.S. royalty.
Yeah.
I mean, I know enough, but I can't make myself care enough about it to do the whole deep dive.
I've seen some real Anglophiles who are like super, I'm loving this dynamic with these babies, who are really into it. I will say, I know their names. I know what they do. I think I'm less into it here lately. But I used to be, Kate and William, I don't know, colonialism, imperialism will really get you.
Yeah, the only one I really care about is Princess Di.
Okay, yes, that's a real, I have them rewatching The Crown. Or I'm watching the most recent season with Princess Di.
Oh, nice.
She's phenomenal. Okay, chapter 8. I want to hear from Kay on what you get. What stood out to you?
So I'm going to preface my notes by saying that I did these at about 4 o'clock this morning.
As you should.
When I woke up and couldn't go back to sleep. So who can know what my brain was really interested in at that time?
You're worrying about the right holes.
Yeah, so I highlighted this section just because I'm a very big fan of banter in books. I love witty banter. Something about good conversation really does it for me.
Same. I hope all the listeners of this podcast feel the same.
Yeah. This banter is really good.
Yes. Less sexually charged. But
yes. So basically, Keller is explaining that they have to prepare her for any kind of situation, like if she were to get kidnapped for ransom and all the things. Mm-hmm. So she's asking, okay, so a follow-up question. What kind of kidnapping are we talking about? I'm not sure what you mean. Like, what would they do to me? Because I've heard about some weird things in my time. Like this one girl who lived in South Beach was once kidnapped by a drug dealer, strapped to a chair in an empty warehouse, and she was tickled with feathers every hour on the hour. Like, that's some real freaky shit.
I did not read that.
Or are we just talking about normal kidnapping? Like normal everyday kidnapping? This is from Keller's POV. So it says, I blink a few times. She's unlike any person I've ever met. Do you want us to prepare you for tickle torture? Wouldn't hurt. She taps the table with her finger. Add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
She lets out a deep breath. Well, I'm glad I asked that question. Can't be too prepared, right? So when do we start? And my note, it literally just says, like, the banter here is so good. Like, she's so funny.
Yes.
And he's just, like, dumbfounded by her witticisms.
I think that is where the grumpy sunshine, and we're all wired differently, but that is where the grumpy sunshine trope is really special, because I appreciate a dynamic in which I am able to be the sunshine.
Yes.
Let me be, what is it, the wacky zany?
The manic pixie dream girl.
Let me be the manic pixie dream girl.
Or the wacky zany goofy little critter.
Wacky zany goofy little critter.
That's the other version of
the TikTok. You know exactly what I'm trying to reference.
Yeah, so there's the manic pixie dream girl, and then there's like the Walmart brand, the zany goofy little critter.
Yeah, I think I most often veer towards the like goofy little critter.
Goofy little critter.
The Walmart brand. Yeah, I think the banter, I do appreciate being, I've always loved that, being like him being like really serious. And I know I'm married to a golden retriever, but he often does run pretty serious.
Yeah.
He's concentrated on giving us a good life. And
I love like the times when you can make him break.
Yes.
Like my partner is also very serious. He's a very stoic kind of guy.
Very reserved.
And so when I can be weird enough to make him break, it's the best.
It's just, that is such a good feeling, because it's like I feel like that puts me in the happiest place. That makes me more me. Whenever he's like, so our partners love to play board games together, which is adorable. And mine especially gets very serious.
It's very important.
Like very serious about the games.
Yeah, my partner is also like, so it's like the end of the world is happening.
For reference, they read Brandon Sanderson novels together. So
yeah, if you know who Brandon Sanderson is, you know that is no easy feat.
No easy feat, but they get very serious about that. And I feel like that is them being truly themselves. Like they really enjoy that, and they enjoy the complexity and all that.
They could do their own podcast on Brandon Sanderson novels.
I have mentioned it. We have the equipment. But I really love the dynamic of where I can just be me, and I can be
a wacky, zany, goofy little critter.
Yeah, I can and win the whole game because I'm not paying attention. So anyway, makes me more truly me. I enjoy that, but the banter here is beautiful. I want to hear what else you have to say.
Yes. So the next one, I don't have a note for it. I just thought this was a really sweet moment. It's on page 103. I take her wrist in my hand. Still from Keller's POV. I take her wrist in my hand and run my thumb over the hearts, her tattoo, feeling the gentle pulse pick up where I stare at the ink embedded in her skin. A marking of family, a marking of love. It's subtle, yet incredibly sexy and honorable. It shows loyalty, and that's something I can work with. When I look up and our eyes connect, I say, this won't be a problem.
I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Also, I highlighted the 3-piece sized hearts. That is the shape of her tattoo. And I put a note with your initials.
Yes.
With an exclamation point, because
that is going to be my tattoo.
I know. I hope you don't crap out on it. I hope that you...
we have reservations. Like,
perfect.
It's on the spreadsheet.
Picture of margaritas.
Yes, that is the plan.
It's on the spreadsheet. You're going to get the cutest tattoo.
Yeah.
You and Lily.
Me and Lily are the same. Lilia. That's like her Nordic name.
The J is, yeah.
I'm assuming. I don't know. It's like,
I saw it and I thought, I mean, if I would have read this the first time, I would have been like, okay, yeah, 3 hearts. But then I was like, oh no, that's what you're getting.
I know. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, that's the same as me.
It made me so happy. Okay, yeah, on page 103 as well for me, we're getting close to, can I read my highlight real quick?
Is it the piercings?
Sure is.
I have that one highlighted too.
Oh, good. I'm really glad that we're going to really thoroughly cover this. We are academics. You want to read it or you want me to?
You can read it.
Okay, I'm going to read the whole little section. Okay, well, because he's asking about tattoos and piercings. He's trying to train her. He's trying to feel it out. Because he's trying to get her fit to be royalty. And she says, okay, well, my nipples are pierced, and so is my clit. What? This is from Keller's perspective. My eyes snap to hers to see if she's serious. And when I see that there's not a hint of humor in her expression, my cock hardens immediately. Like a goddamn rock. Her actual clit is pierced. Fucking hell.
It's British, so it's like,
Yeah. Hell.
I can't do a British accent.
Exactly.
It's going to embarrass myself.
My note there is, we go from 3 little hearts to clits real quick.
I know. It's an immediate jump.
Yeah.
The section I have highlighted is, I'm not sure if the pierced nipples are going to be an issue, she says, while I try to keep myself from panting. I know no one will see my clit, but I've had a few one-night stands back in Miami. Not sure if anyone would care to say what's going on down there, but I figured I should lay it all out there. I've also had sex on a balcony and on a car in an empty parking lot and on the beach once. In the back of a movie theater, but don't worry, it was an R-rated movie. In a bar bathroom, in a restaurant bathroom, in an aquarium bathroom. Something about all the water got me randy. I'm also known for a good skinny dipping. I've streaked twice, and I also always wear thong bikini bottoms. I don't think there's any pictures, but I thought I'd give you a heads up since everyone has a camera in their pocket now. And I went to a sex club a couple times, but I never did anything. I just watched. And I just love that. Like I wrote, this is a shameless, empowered woman. She's like, I've done, this is the stuff I've done.
If we're going to go over, like for the sake of this, discussion, you're discussing like, and this stands in stark contrast to like Meghan and Kate and like their royal experience, and it's like, oh, they have to be these pure virgins who never do anything, they're perfect angels. And it's like, she's like, like I live my life.
Yeah, I've had a good life.
Yeah, and I've done some fun stuff.
And I like that she's like, hey, I've done some of this stuff, and just so you know, it might cause a little bit of a ruckus, but this is the reality. It's
really beautiful. And in our world that is quick to, our puritanical culture who is quick to shame women for enjoying sex, this is really powerful.
Yes.
And she's saying like, hey, I hope there's no pictures, but like, yeah, I'm not a bad person.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Enjoy being sexually alive. And it's, again, stands in such stark contrast to purity culture. This isn't her trying to be naughty.
No, it's not. It's just her being herself.
It's like, this is just okay.
Yeah, this is how I've lived. And like the way that she explains, so to me, like nipple piercings make sense. I get that.
Sure.
The clip piercing sounds painful.
Ow.
It sounds like it would hurt, but she explains it as like I don't know. I think I feel like I might have highlighted it somewhere. I don't know if it's later on. But she explains it that like men were not getting her off, and she was like, I didn't want to have to rely on a man to get me off, so I did this.
Exactly. She explains it from the perspective of like, I had some subpar sexual experiences, and I wanted to make sure that they could find it.
Yeah. I wanted it to be a glaring sign for my partners.
And that's a beautiful way to like take your sexual enjoyment into your own hands too.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
I mean, it's not for me, but I love that she's not using it like that's purely for her.
Oh yeah. And we love it.
We love it. Absolutely. What else you got?
My next thing is she's talking to Laura, I think. Mm-hmm. And they are out in the world doing stuff, and she's saying, okay, we should probably start heading back because Keller's going to start to worry. You're probably right. Plus, I need to finish my Netflix binge. We both stand from the rock and head back to the castle together. What are you watching? She asked. I'm binging Bridgerton, of course. I have to educate myself. I already watched The Crown, so I have that aspect of the royal life covered, but Bridgerton, that's a whole other lifestyle.
It really is.
And my note here is like, a girlie just like you and me. And to be clear, we're not watching Bridgerton for the historical accuracy.
Absolutely not. We want stair oral sex.
Yes.
I want you to eat me out on the stairs.
Yeah, in the library, outside, in the gazebo, in the field.
Yes.
I just want an hour and a half episode 6, if you're looking for the right episode for that. Mm-hmm.
It's really important.
So, I too watch Bridgerton to research stuff.
Yeah, it's accuracy. I'm not saying it's historical accuracy, but it's accurate.
My next note is, Keller's doing his daily push-ups. You know, you got to do your push-ups in front of the princess. That's just how it is. It's the rule.
Yeah, for sure.
If only I was under him while he was performing his push-ups, feeling his large body cover mine, only to push back up. In my fantasy, we're both naked and his penis is dipping in and out of me.
Yeah.
And so I wrote, so not a push-up fantasy, just a regular sex fantasy.
Like, that's sex.
Honestly, same.
To be clear, what you're describing
is the sex fantasy. That's not a push-up thing.
So, like, push-ups, like, that's sex, but yeah.
I mean,
beautiful.
I feel the same way.
Beautiful.
I've got more Bridgerton content.
Please.
What are you worrying about, he asks. Well, I've been doing some serious research on the whole royal thing, and I'm concerned about the amount of time we're spending alone together. His brow creases even more, and I just knew watching Bridgerton was not only going to entertain me, but provide me with the perfect material to test Keller's thinning patience. Gotta have a little fun with the grump somehow. Am I right, ladies? I love that she talks to us. Why are you concerned? Because we're alone with no chaperone, and the assumption can be made that you're stealing my virtue.
Oh no.
I roll my teeth over my bottom lip and say, we might have to get married. And I wrote, this is a serious concern. I think they should get married right away just in case. Lady Whistledown would be ripe for the gossip here.
Yeah, this is really important. I'm really glad that Lily is bringing this to light because, you know, I actually highlighted a little further down his response. I appreciated his response because he said, us being alone in a room is not going to destroy your virtue. It's the countless hours you spent conducting wet t-shirt contests that will. Like, burn.
Yeah.
One.
Yikes.
And I appreciate that I'm funny. Like,
yeah.
You know?
And I think it's so blurry when I was doing this in the middle of the night. But I feel like I did highlight later something else about virtue and in social constructs, but we'll get to it if I actually did do that.
Mm-hmm.
My next thing. So we're about to get into some spicy banter here. So my first one, I actually didn't highlight this, but it's like suggested to me as a highlight.
Yes, I love this.
And I think we should play your red flag, green flag game with this.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Right here.
This is Keller talking. I take what I want when I want it, and if my wife dare disobeys me, there will be consequences.
Is
this a red flag?
So I did leave a note on this. I highlighted exactly that as well, and I said in my note, let me tell you how completely not hot this is. # trauma.
Yes.
So here's the thing. So this is complicated though, because I read it and my stomach flipped like, ugh, like not a good sexy way.
But later on down the page, it's like less icky.
Because this is delicate, isn't it? This is tricky. This is real tricky.
Yeah, because the whole like...
Dom.
Yeah, so they kind of... This is... I don't know. I wouldn't call this a true Dom-sub relationship. And we are not in that community, and I don't want to speak for that community.
Sure. And we respect. Like, we're interested, so we just don't want to speak.
I'm very interested.
Kay's very interested. I'm a little less interested just because of my own trauma history.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, there's different levels of things. And
sure.
But the whole... In my limited experience and research of dominant submissive relationships is that the whole basis is trust.
Yes.
And sometimes the wording can feel misogynistic and it when it's not really that. And so I don't want to be judgmental of...
Ooh, that's a good distinction. We're not judging. We're coming in with our own lens and our own lived experience. Because we're seeing this through the lens of our sexuality as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, great call.
Yeah, and I think it's a red flag without having previously discussed a relationship like this.
Beautiful. Good point. Because he already... Oh, I guess we skipped over it, but she was talking about sex clubs and something about... He asked, like, your ex, like, was he a dom?
Was he your dom? Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And they were very riled up about it. But it's like, this is already on the table. Like, within the context of a kink, within, like, a dom sub situation, this... We know exactly what he's saying. If you are in like a church or like a religious context, I take what I want when I want it. If my wife dares disobey me, there will be consequences. Reads completely different.
Yes, and if you come from like a background like us, a lot of times
submission was not sexy.
Yes, and like in marriage vows, like part of it was like the wife will obey or submit to her husband, all the things, and it's really gross feeling. Mm-hmm. So when I read that, I had the same reaction. I was like, that's disgusting. And
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
But then later on, it's so hot.
Yeah, and I think this is like where the context of like, you say this outside the bedroom, we are not to get like that. We're done. But in the context of like our sex life, it's different.
It's so tough because it's not just a blanket statement. And parts of me also wonder if that's why my fundamentalist tradition like did emphasize wives submit so much, because it was a whole bunch of, well, to be clear, for those unfamiliar, my faith tradition very much emphasized like wives submitting. Yours did too. Mine was just like a fundamentalist iteration of it. And so it's super toxic, but it was more like wives submitting about like the grocery bill and about like the husband wanting sex every day of the week, or like just like bad like
you have no control
of power.
Yeah, no control of your body, your finances,
your time. Yeah. So I cannot iterate enough that like this was not sexy. Like my experience with wives submitting was like a excellent example is that a lot of times, this is very serious and I'm sorry, but a lot of times women in abusive situations where there was like intimate partner violence, domestic violence situations, it would be an opportunity to glorify the Lord because the wife was submitting to her husband. And I have several friends, parents who, this was exactly the situation. It was an opportunity to glorify God by submitting.
Ew.
And so that is where it gets really dicey, because like in a sexual relationship where it's just to heighten sexual pleasure, like that could be really hot, and it definitely is here for Keller and Lily. In a relational dynamic, when the man has all the power and the woman is not educated, she does not have her own bank account, she does not have her own vehicle, she is not able to leave the home, and she's not allowed to wear fucking pants. Like that is where when I say trauma, I mean like I'm also like a really strong advocate for religious trauma, and so it's something it's something to handle with care.
Yes.
And I do know that mainstream, whenever we're talking about dom sub situations, it's more of like, ooh, this is hot, take me. And so I respect that I have a very niche perspective.
Yeah. And I think that the difference here is that Lily basically has all the power in this relationship. Great because example. She literally is going to be the queen. And so
she's actually in power.
Yeah.
Here.
The power dynamic is that her position is higher than his and will always be higher than his.
Yes.
So I think that is something that will maybe soothes your ickiness a little bit. That she's going to be in power.
I didn't even zoom out and see that perspective. And I think that is why this works. And I would, maybe we'll have some folks who have more dominant, submissive, like sexual kink experiences. Like that would be really interesting, because I'm interested in the perspective, but I think it could be really cool, especially when there is a power imbalance where the sub individual is actually often maybe more financially advantaged, maybe more like they actually in relationship and culture have more dominance.
Yeah.
Like it could be fun.
Yes. And I've heard that a lot of times, like the submissive tends to hold the power just in a different way. Ooh. Like they're in control of the situation because there's safe words and there's, they have signals between the couple, and the submissive is in power in that they could stop it whenever. So,
yeah, and this comes up. We kind of had like a preview on our way to brunch this morning. This comes up later in how Keller betrays Lily, and because it's even more serious. We will cover it in more detail, but it's like the trust required, even with safe words, even with all these things, the trust required in these relationships. And that is something, again, that fundamentalism did not have. There was no trust. It was just like blind obedience. And so very different situation, just the same words. But trust has to be honored.
Okay, so this is later on down the same page. I've got two different highlights here. So I just highlighted this section because this is directly after he says that line that we just talked about. And we're getting kind of into the dominant submissive of their relationship. And I just like, this is also banter. That's why I highlighted it. My note just says, oh, this is really good spicy banter. But it says, I wet my lips. You fail to recognize how much that appeals to me. And just because I feel the dominant in him come out, I add, sir. His eyes narrow on me and his jaw clenches. And boy, oh boy, does he make the most delicious growly noise I've ever heard. Don't, Lily. Oh, do you prefer master? His hand strikes the stone next to me, his palm pressing against the hard surface, startling me, but also turning me on at the same time. Don't fucking test me. I swallow hard as I curl into the feel of him so close, his warm, heated body nearly pressing into mine. I love the controlled anger in his voice, but the yearning I see in his eyes, I knew it. I knew he was into the same kind of kink I am. I could see it in the minute I mentioned the sex club yesterday. This makes him exponentially more appealing. Not testing you, just letting you know my concerns.
I mean, if we're talking about sexual compatibility,
yeah.
It's important, and it sure do sound like they've got it.
The chemistry here is off the charts. Yeah.
We'd love to see it.
Yeah. That's just, I feel like that was her consenting to what he was saying earlier.
Totally. Yes. That's a good... Which one is that?
That was her. She was just yawning.
She's just expressing her
She was like,
disagreement with.
I'm just a baby.
I thought this was G-rated, Mom. To be clear, these are animal babies.
Yeah, they're not. There's not actual babies in here.
Yeah, we're not bad.
Oh, this is my next. This is the virtue thing that I highlighted. Let's see. Oh, hand to my chest. I bat my eyelashes at him and say, "Are you telling me by being alone with you, you won't be stealing my virtue?" He pushes off the stone wall and goes back to his push-ups. After the second one, he says, "Trust me, Lily. If I were stealing your virtue, you would fucking know I was." So I wrote, "Oh, this is not a commentary on social construct." I was going to be, apparently at 4:30 in the morning, I am not here to comment on social commentary.
No, those higher places in your mind.
So I wrote, virtue be damned because social construct and all that. But that was hot, and I feel like I'm discovering things about myself here.
Yeah, this is not a fully formed thought, but I do think, look, gender is a social construct, virtue and purity are certainly social constructs, and I identify as strongly female. Like I'm feminine. I lean in that direction. It used to be something that I definitely didn't lean into because it was seen as weak, and now I see it as very powerful, and it's something that I really appreciate and enjoy.
Yes, we are both girlies who enjoy the girly things in life,
which is really it's something that's really special, and I don't know, it's not for everyone, and I do think that I find a lot of empowerment in it, and I think that the hyper toxic masculinity, no, that huge turn off, but like growly,
the hyper masculine, like
strong, protector.
Oh, the protector.
Oh my god. I think it again, it allows me to be more fully myself whenever I am with somebody who is fully themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
I will say my highlights end in chapter 10 and then pick back up in chapter 23 because that's where I had left off.
Okay. I've got one more. I would say have some in chapter 10, but I've got one more in this chapter. This was just funny to me. Freaking health nuts with their morning workouts and their healthy soups. I clung to a loaf of bread and took 3 large bites before sticking it back in the bread basket.
Absolutely.
She's just like me, for real.
Yeah.
I wrote, I too cling to bread at any given time. Let me tell you, the toast I had with my brunch this morning was phenomenal.
It looked absolutely exquisite.
My friend cannot consume yeasty products.
This is not by choice. People used to say, "Are you gluten-free by choice?" And all I wanted to say is
you think I'm not eating bread by choice?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you think that I know that some people choose to not consume carbs because eating disorders are real. But yeah, no, this is not by choice. My body says no.
Yeah.
But yes, bread. I do appreciate gluten-free carby products as much as I can.
Potatoes.
Oh gosh. We do love to rate a potato.
We'll do a potato podcast as a special episode. We'll bring in our special guest, our other friend.
There's nothing sexy about potatoes.
You're wrong.
If we ever had a cold open for this show, it should be "There's nothing sexy about potatoes."
That'll be our sign off. Until next time, remember, there's nothing sexy about potatoes.
But here's the God honest truth. Sometimes the way I feel about Chick-fil-A waffle fries, I'm not endorsing Chick-fil-A's political or social policies, but the way I feel about those waffle fries is sometimes a little sexual. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I feel that way about McDonald's French fries sometimes.
Really? I was thinking about those this morning. I got out of the shower and I was thinking about French fries, and I was drying off, and I thought I used to get a Mickey D's sweet tea for $1 and a large fry.
Yeah, for $1.
I was 19.
That was the life.
Weighed about that many pounds.
Yeah.
And would just eat. amazing.
I know. It's incredible.
I've lost that part of me. I need to regain her.
It is a beautiful part.
I respect. I knew what I liked.
Yeah.
And I ate it.
Some damn French fries.
Some damn McDonald's French fries. So you maybe potatoes can be a little sexy.
I think they can. And
Samwise Gamgee would agree.
Potatoes.
Boil and mash them.
Stick them in a stew. And that is your daily Lord of the Rings content. Yeah. If there's one thing you can, if there's one thing you can count on for this podcast, we are going to talk about Lord of the Rings. That's every episode. So
have y'all seen have y'all seen Aragorn?
Have you heard about Samwise Gamgee?
Real strong energy. Sexual energy.
I identify as like a Pippin or a Merry, just here for a good time. I'm here to eat some snacks.
What about 11sies? I know we haven't had a snack in a while. We
might need to have a crunchy time.
Yeah, there are several more chapters.
Do you know how long we've been recording?
Oh my god, do I? Tell me.
1 hour and 37 minutes.
There's so many more chapters.
Oh, because we both have notes. I was like, how is this episode longer than it happened in one summer?
Should we do a part 1 and a part 2 to Royally Not Ready?
No way.
We have overlapping notes.
Yeah.
You'll just be doing more editing this time.
Yeah, it's fine. It's no big deal. And if we release a 2.5 hour episode, you're welcome.
You are welcome for this gift to our communities.
Yeah.
God, listen and enjoy. My eyes just glanced down and I'm on chapter 10.
My next one's about the vibrator. Is that what yours is?
Oh my God. Oh, I did highlight that, but no, I want to grip her jaw, part her mouth open, and claim her.
Yes.
And from the look of it, she wants the same thing.
Yes. I love it. I love that.
It's a good. Okay, but yeah, tell me about the vibrator.
Oh no. Don't go to sleep.
We should do a vibrator review at some point.
A vibrator review. I have a vibrator, obviously.
Yeah,
but I don't have a wide range of vibrators.
But that's what I mean.
Oh, you gotta buy a bunch and test them out. I think that's OnlyFans.
No. I wanted the clap. Any of those work to emphasize my point.
That's the clap.
Okay, well, there we go. I emphasized my point 4 times over with 4 different sounds. Our little Podski thing is preloaded with 4 sounds that we use.
Look,
we use those mofos.
I can be good at so many things, and it just cannot be adding more sounds to the whatever that thing is called. This is the soundboard.
Do people think we're in a podcast recording studio? Do they think we like?
Does it sound like we're in a podcast recording studio? And in case you're wondering, we are in an open basement.
A luxury studio apartment.
A luxury, the LSA.
It's 100% a basement full of animals and coziness. LOL. Where were we? Oh,
the vibrator
reviews. That's what I'm saying. It's up for.
I can give you a good review of the one that I have because I really like it.
Okay, well,
I can't tell you I don't know what it's called, but I can look it up. Look, I can't know it.
Okay, but you had a highlight about
vibrators. Yeah.
Yes.
So he asked her what her most prized, or are they playing the question game? I think they are.
Yeah, colors.
Yes. So they're playing the classic question game. You've done it 100 times when you were in high school with your boyfriend. You ask him 1,000 questions. It's a thing that you do. So he asked her what her most prized possession was, and she talked a little bit about her memory box, about her parents. And then she was like, but actually, it would my most prized possession, that would easily have to be my vibrator. My eyes snapped to hers, finding her smirking, completely pleased with herself. That is not your most prized possession. Yes, it is. She wets her lips. I'm a very sexual person. I love getting off, and I found a vibrator that's the perfect match for me. It's so valuable that I packed it and brought it with me with extra batteries.
Amazing.
And I wrote, it's the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Yeah, we made a little for the Disney adults out there.
For you Disney adults,
we made a
deep cut Jungle Book quote.
But to be clear, it is BARE, bare necessities.
Well, I spelled it bare.
Okay.
You can't see me, but I did.
She did a bear claw. Definitely did a bear claw.
Look, I don't know how to spell things.
Well,
B-A-R-E.
Did you mean bare necessities or bare necessities?
I meant the bare necessities. A bear is singing the song.
Well, I heard it as a play on bare necessities in like naked. Like bear, like B-A-R-E.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what
Well, that's exactly what
a
you
bear
meant.
is singing the song, and so my literal brain was like, it's bare necessities.
Yeah, no, the song is the bare necessities.
But I think it is.
This is a quality content.
I think this is why we have to do this at night. We can't do this in the light of day.
This is where listeners tune in. Do you think it's bare necessities or bare necessities?
Yeah, email us at ourkinkykindlespod@gmail.com. I think the actual quote, like the phrase is B-A-R-E, bare necessities. But bare is also means naked.
Bare essential. Yeah, B-A-R-E is bare. But it's spelled differently.
It's spelled differently, but I wrote bear like the animal because a bear is
did at 4:30 in the morning.
Song.
Yes, well, I know, but if you're using it as a pun,
look,
it has to be bareness. This is about a fucking vibrator. She's not a bear. Her skin is bare. She is not a bear.
I can't be held responsible.
So for anyone
I stand
emailing,
by it. I think it's funny.
For anyone, it's just really not. But for anyone emailing in, there's one right answer. We're like, I'm looking for it. There's one right answer, and it's B-A-R-E.
No one make fun of me. I'm very fragile.
Maybe we shouldn't give people our email. What if they write hateful things?
I'll delete it.
Perfect.
If you write something mean, we're not going to respond, and I'm going to delete
them off
you.
and we'll light them on fire like we did with the
New Year's Eve stuff.
Yeah. So actually, if you would write us something a little mean, we would actually maybe enjoy that because.
Yeah. Or if you want to get something out and you want us to burn it for you, we'll do that too. That's a therapy technique, baby.
Picture to burn. Yeah.
Or a Taylor Swift song.
I made the Taylor Swift.
I hate that stupid old pickup truck. It never let me drive. Yeah, that's
Do you think
for
she'll
free.
sing it?
Well, maybe
Eras tour?
somewhere. Wait. No, I don't think she will.
What's the chart down to?
We lost.
Sorry, this is a sore subject.
We lost Mean. And we lost You're on Your Own, Kid. And we lost Mad Woman and The Great War.
Speaking of Mad Woman.
Yeah.
That was my child yawning. Well, that's heartbreaking. I'm sorry for your loss.
But I don't think she'll sing Picture to Burn because the original lyrics have a homophobic line in it.
Oh, no.
I'll tell mine you're gay.
Oh. Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Well,
she might sing it.
When we know better, we do better.
She did a rewrite. So the original CD that I own that she released has the homophobic line in it, but she re-recorded the song like before she was doing her re-records, like a super long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, and she changed the line to "You won't mind if I say." So if she sings it, it'll be that version of it.
Very good. Okay. Well, of course. Hey, when we know better, we do better.
Mm-hmm.
We've all. I mean, that's not to excuse in any way, shape, or form anything homophobic. That is not okay. And there's room for doing better when we know better.
Yeah, but and the line is like, you can tell your friends that I'm obsessive and crazy. I'll just tell mine you're gay, which
that's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to fight fire with fire there.
Oh well.
Yeah, but
hey, we never said anyone was perfect.
Yeah, I know Taylor Swift's not perfect. Don't come for me. Okay.
Sorry, these were Tinder. This was a Tinder sidebar. This is a vulnerable sidebar for Kay.
The bare necessities.
Well, no, not the bare necessities. That's just
That'll
subjective.
be our first merch.
The facts are the facts.
If we ever release merch, the first one's gonna say the bare necessities. It's gonna have a picture of a fucking bear on it. Okay.
B-A-R.
It's gonna be the bare necessities, but instead of the word bear, it's gonna be a picture of a bear.
It will be a deep cut reference to our Kinky Kindles.
The listeners. Okay, we need to get back on track. Do you need a blood sugar break?
Maybe we need a break. Maybe that's what this is about. Because we have to get a real sidebar.
Okay, we're gonna take a blood sugar break and
for our sponsors.
We'll come back.
Our sponsors will chime in now.
Yeah, and we'll come back with some more clit piercing stuff. Okay, we're back.
And we're back.
We had a popcorn break. We're feeling a little less crazy.
We're hydrated.
I drank a glass of water.
We got the bare necessities going.
Look, we were fully reclined.
We're getting back in our comfy spot.
Yeah.
I think we finally, 4 episodes in,
We have nailed it.
maybe Sunday brunch is the vibe.
Maybe Sunday brunch is the vibe.
Maybe this is also why we're making this so long, because we know we.
That's true. I'm not looking at the clock being like, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Would you share for the audience? Would you identify as a morning person or a night person?
Yeah, I'm fully a morning person. I am truly the best version of myself in the morning.
Yes, that is when I get the most friend homework from you. Is in the morning.
Yeah.
The most enlightened, hilarious friend homework. And for those of you who are not aware, friend homework is TikTok videos. Okay, but morning person, I would also identify as an earlier in the day kind of person. So
Yeah. Good things happen in the morning.
hey, you want to pick up where we left off?
Yes. So if you don't remember, you all, we were talking about the bare necessities. My next highlight is a couple pages later. He's asking her what she liked about the sex club, or what she found most interesting about it. And so, let's see. She says, I liked watching how possessive the man was when he touched his woman. Like every stroke was the first stroke, and there was something so sexy, so fascinating to me when the woman would give in and let the man lead her. The trust between them, it was beautiful. She moves her fingers over my shirt. Is that what you like about that side of the sexual experience? Is that your last question? I guess so. Then yes, I was born a protector. It's in my blood. When a woman puts her trust in my hands, I'll never break that trust. I'll hold it close to me and cherish it. And that goes for inside the bedroom and outside the bedroom. Yeah. She's like, oh, you're getting me all hot. She's very open about when he turns her on.
It's not just in her head.
Yeah. I think my note just says, I'm getting all nervous and weird.
Getting all nervous and weird. Emotional intimacy.
Yes. I like that he said that, but also this is kind of a foreshadowing moment for when he kind of breaks her trust later on for the third act breakup.
You know, some things we need explicitly said and explicit, but this is like the subtext is that yes, there should be trust in any relationship, and it's like, ooh, is he going to break her trust? But this is even more intensified within the context of dom sub relationships. So a little foreshadowing, which I assume y'all have read the book, or you're just listening to hear our
whatever
enlightened
this is.
content, our enlightened reviews of these books. But yeah, we'll see how it all goes down.
All right, this next one. So I want to note that we are in chapter 11, page 166, and there has not been any touching, no sex, no kissing. Like, we are fully over 100 pages in the book, and there has not been any sex yet. So I just want to let you know that's what you're getting into. Okay.
But the most sexual tension of any slow burn I have ever read.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of sexual tension here. like this quote that I'm about to read.
Please.
This is him talking to Lily. All you want is to get under my skin. He lowers his head so his lips are at my ear. His thumb strokes the underside of my breast, causing me to nearly melt in his grasp. Guess what, Lily? You've been under my goddamn skin since the moment you showed up at the Moxie in that dress. You don't have to keep trying. You're there. You're buried in my goddamn veins, pumping my blood, causing me to go fucking crazy in my head because I've never wanted to fuck a woman as much as I want to fuck you. And I just wrote, cue any Meghan Thee Stallion song.
Any and all.
Get a bucket and a mop.
Literally any commentary on the female experience of sexual arousal.
Yes.
That is...
Kiss it when he eat it up.
Seriously. I don't have a lot of words because, that is just so beautiful. It's so... I just want to bewitch in body and soul.
Having someone tell you how much they want you is nice.
Yes. There is a security and a safety in that.
Yeah.
Knowing that you are wanted. And I love that she's joking around about it. And this is kind of their dynamic, Grumpy Sunshine. Because she's joking around and he's like, but for real.
You're getting on my nerves.
Yeah, you are. He's being so for real right now.
Being so for real.
That's what the teens say.
Yeah, just be so for real right now. We're on page 182, chapter 12. This is kind of our first little taste of spice. They're in the hot springs. And my note, I'm going to say my note first. And I said, it's time for everyone's favorite game, Sexy Hot Springs Trivia. So how about this? For each thing I list off about proper etiquette at the table, you tell me what you like about my boobs. That way we're both learning and having fun.
Perfect.
Yes. So basically she kind of tricks him into taking her to the hot springs that are nearby, and she takes off her shirt and she's just wearing nothing but her panties.
She's a happy girl.
She's happy.
She's happy and she knows exactly what she's doing.
Yes. I didn't highlight it, but he does give some pretty good descriptions of why he likes her boobs so much. And this is this funny thing about, how people say you're an ass man or you're a boob man. So I saw this, I think it might have been a tweet at some point where it was Republicans are boob men, Democrats are ass men. And I have never been able to get that out of my mind. And I'm like, if a man tells me that he likes boobs more than butt, I'm like, ew.
Seriously, I know.
I'm like, really?
I there's something to be said. I need for you to love my ass.
Yeah.
Appreciate my boobs. Give my boobs the attention that they deserve.
Yeah. But we're here for my ass.
Yes, exactly. Okay, can I read this?
Sure.
Because I caught up with you. Okay. Knowing I'm not getting out of this, I reach over my head, pull my shirt up. So this is a little bit before that. She's taking her shirt off. Over my body and drop it with her clothes. Oh no, this is him getting undressed. This must be from his perspective. Oh yeah, take it off, she hollers, causing me to give her a menacing stare. It does nothing but make her laugh. I finish removing my clothes, leaving just my briefs on, and then move to the hot spring. You have a really nice ass, she says. This guy doesn't skip out on his squats. She's a Democrat. She's all about that ass. Same chapter, right after the hot springs. He's acting grumpy as per usual. And she's saying, are you still mad about having to walk back to the castle with a semi-hard on? And then he says, I'm not sure you understand how painful that is. When you start having period cramps, then you can talk to me about pain. Your half-hard dick really gives me no concern. Speak on that.
Literally, why are you whining?
Yes. Why are you whining about, I don't want to hear a word of complaint about blue balls. Or about how uncomfortable your dick is straining against the zipper of your pants.
Suck it up, my guy.
We have an organ of our body.
It's leaving.
Yeah.
It's literally exiting my body.
Once a month.
Yeah.
This is not a semi-occasional event. Yeah.
Your half-hard dick gives me no concern.
Gives me no concern.
And I don't have a penis. I don't know what that's like. It can't be that bad.
Can't.
The pain cannot be that bad. I'm sorry.
I don't believe it.
What are you whining about?
Yeah. I think whining about sexual arousal is maybe not the move. Not the move.
All right, we're into chapter 13. We're on page 200. Still no full-on spice yet. I think he touches her boobs slightly in the hot springs, but there's no kissing. I'm not even sure he touches her nipple. I think it's just
that's the kind of tension we're talking about. Is they're talking about sex, they're naked-ish, but not having sex, which is pretty hot.
Or he almost gives in to being with her, and he stops it, and it feels like rejection to her. And it's when I read this, I feel it too. When they pull away, and it's that feels like rejection.
Yeah.
It's that feeling as you get it in your chest. It's ugh.
It's a terrible feeling. Yeah.
And so he asks her, or she asks him, can you leave your shirt here? Okay, so keeping his eyes on me, he reaches behind his head and pulls off his shirt, revealing his sculpted chest, his muscles rippling and straining with lust as he walks toward me. Before he makes it all the way, I sit up and strip out of my shirt, leaving me bare-chested in front of him. His eyes scour my chest, brows turning down as he wets the corner of his mouth with his tongue.
Goodness gracious.
I hold out my hand to him for his shirt, but he doesn't hand it over. He keeps it close to him as he sits next to me. He finds the neck hole of his shirt and offers it to me. I lean forward, and once the shirt is over my head, gathered around my neck, he drags his fingers fingers down my arm, over the side of my breast, and he picks up my hand. He brings my wrist to his mouth, where he presses the smallest of kisses. It's so light, a feather of a kiss, but it drives me wild, creating a force of sensual desire to billow in my stomach.
Aww.
He helps that arm to the hole of the shirt, then he moves his other hand up my stomach and runs his fingers along the side of my breast, then down my arm, just like my other arm. He brings that wrist to his mouth and lightly kisses it before threading it through his shirt. Once my arms are situated, he reaches for the hem and drags it down my body until I'm fully wrapped in him, his fingers dragging over my heated skin. And so I wrote, this is what's so incredible about smut. This scene makes me sweaty and nervous, and they aren't even kissing. They're barely even touching each other.
Yes.
Like, the description of subtle touching and, like, the emotions that you're feeling from Lily, like, it's so good. Like, you don't...
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need... like a full-on description. And that is kind of a misconception sometimes about smut. Like, this is something very simple. Like, he's putting his shirt on her, but it is, and you could describe it as such.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that this is maybe, I mean, this is written by women for
women.
Female gaze.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for women. And so it's such a, it's beautiful. And people, I think, and even my partner has expressed, like, ideas about what he thinks smut is. And it's like, so sure, but no at the same time.
Yeah.
Not all. No.
And they usually say it's like, oh, it's like porn for women, which is like, you're not wrong. That is kind of what it is. But
so different.
You're missing like this, like the subtleties of like slowly dragging your fingers down someone's arm, like not even an erogenous zone, just like your arm, and like the touching and the stolen glances.
But it's nurturing. He's meeting a need. He's like sticking to his values, which is not like taking advantage of her or whatever. Like it's there's so many more layers beneath this layer that he's putting on her. Like there's a lot of depth and complexity in it, which I feel like, and granted, I can kind of get in the weeds about needing lots of story and depth and complexity in stories, and I do think that this is a good example of like, this isn't like the most life-changing story. Like, it's been done before. We've seen Princess Diaries.
It's an incredible movie.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's legendary. But this is a beautiful example of like, there's layer and complexity and meaning and eroticism in all of it. And it's from a really well-told story.
There's more to erotica than like penetrative descriptions of sex scenes.
Yes. And
and that's the female experience with sex. Because we are intellectually stimulated.
Speak on it, yes. And I do think, and it's been fun to, and my partner was raised in purity culture too, and it's been fun to like have these conversations of like, no, in so many ways, my sexual experience, and this is not to speak for all women, but like there are so many more details and nuances and tension, and like there's so many more layers, and so we enjoy it on so many more levels.
Yes, I agree.
And that's not to say that, Keller and men are not, but
sometimes I wonder, like, is it as good for them? I feel like it can't be.
I mean, I feel like there's research on female sexual pleasure
It's got to be so much better.
We should probably look these things up if we're going to record a podcast about this shit.
We lie on this podcast.
Notice we don't have a fact check at the end. But I guess
please,
listeners, if y'all know,
us if you want.
Correct us.
Send us an email.
But aren't there more like nerve receptors in the clitoris than there? And like the clitoris is just for sexual pleasure. There's no like reproductive.
Oh yeah,
like it's.
Women are amazing.
Yeah, women are amazing. And I think this is a beautiful example of, also, women are amazing and they're sexual partners of any gender, but especially those who do not have vulvas. Their sexual partners need to learn that this is how women often are enjoying sex. It's multidimensional.
Yes.
So make it multi-fucking-dimensional.
Yes, there's teasing, there's conversation.
Yes.
There's subtle touching.
There's tension. Yeah. Yes, there's will they, won't they.
So good.
That's what we need.
All right. We're moving into our first official sexy scene, my friends. On page 219, we get our very, very first good girl. Ding, ding, ding. Where are my girlies at with the praise kink? all I highlighted was good girl. So I don't even know what the context is here.
At 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Just good
Praise
girl.
King awakened.
Wait, what page?
219.
219.
Chapter 13.
The page numbers are made up in here.
Yeah, it's fake. So on page 220, I've written, I don't even know what I've highlighted here, but I just wrote the first true spicy scene is 220 pages in.
Yep.
But the seal is now broken. And then page 223, and he kisses me. He actually freaking kisses me. First kiss. 223 pages into this book.
And here's the thing, to your point on the sexual tension, there are several slow burns that are 213 pages in to sex, and we are livid. We are bored.
Yes.
We are either very hot or very cold. We are either very angry that they've taken this long, or we are very indifferent towards the book and we want to put it down and not finish it because it's such a slow burn. This is a different kind of slow burn.
Yeah. It's good. There's so much tension. And I think because they talk so openly about sex with each other,
yes,
without having even touched each other, the tension is there the whole time.
Which gets women aroused.
Oh, yeah.
All the girlies in the house.
Okay, page 227. She moves past me and into the bathroom where she turns on the water to the tub shower, and I follow her for some reason. Yeah, for some reason.
I can't
It couldn't possibly be the naked lady.
Going into the
Keller.
bathroom, turning the water on.
Keller, come on.
I just can't know it.
All right, page 231. This is the most popular quote from this book that I've seen on Book Talk.
Oh.
This is going to be another one of our games, red flag or green flag. It's cheesy as hell. I kind of like it. This is what we come for, you know?
Oh, I'm at it. I'm reading it.
Let's get one thing straight right fucking now. I say, breathing heavily. This is Keller.
Breathing heavily.
You might be the future queen, but when it comes to the bedroom, I'm your goddamn king. Got it?
She swallows hard. Got it.
Yeah. Look, it's cheesy. We get that.
Okay, but here's why it works. So, to our previous discussion about contexts where dominance and submission is a turn off, this is where it is very much a green flag.
I agree. I think this is a green flag.
If this is your kink and if this is what turns you on, it is definitely a green flag. And he is doing it very specifically in this context.
Yes, it's in a context, and and this is a way of him asking permission because she does agree.
Yes.
You know.
And this is not out of the blue. There are a lot of nuances here, but if girlies, baby girls, if y'all are with a guy and he just out of the blue is saying this,
if you haven't had a previous conversation about your interests and what you like in the bedroom,
those butterflies you feel in your gut are red flags.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
That I read that somewhere of or I think a client told me that it was like a tweet that they had read of sometimes the butterflies are red flags and you should listen to them, and I'm like yeah
that's anxiety, my friend.
Yeah, that's anxiety. We listen to the emotions in our body because they give us helpful information. But yeah, this is several weeks into their relationship. They've had many conversations about sex, lots of tension. They have explicitly stated their sexual preferences. It's abundantly clear, and he still is making this clear. He's still verbally saying, "Hey, this is
kind of what we're gonna do." You know,
this is what I want to do. Are you in?
Yeah,
and then she gives consent, and so we love to see it.
Yes.
So green flag, red flag.
I think green flag.
I think green flag too.
You heard it here first, folks.
We sign off on this.
We sign off on that one. All right. So during this scene, he, because of the nature of the relationship, he tells her what to do, and he basically asks her to make him come by just playing with his balls, which is wild to me.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever.
I don't know how is this. I don't know how it's possible. I literally wrote the quote is "Fuck Lily, I'm gonna come. Take me in your mouth." And this is wild. Just from ball play. I don't have a penis. So I don't know what it's like, but I cannot imagine that's enough.
It can't be. Although, I mean, maybe male partners are having the same question about the clitoris.
True. They're like, this can't be enough.
Let me tell you.
It's enough. Sometimes it's too much, my friends.
Oh, I can't even express how very much. Yeah. And it's just this tiny thing. But yeah,
Yeah, so maybe.
Maybe. But I know balls do not equal clitoris. So.
Yeah, the sensation's not, it can't be the same.
No, it's really not. So, yeah, I have questions too.
Yeah. Okay, so after they have their little sexual encounter, she stops him before he leaves the room, and she says, can we talk about something real quick? And he says yes. And she said, it really hurt my feelings and made me feel incredibly insecure when you pulled away all those times. I made it clear that I want something with you. Before I get my hopes up, I just want to know what to expect.
Ooh, defining the relationship.
That's exactly what I wrote. This is a DTR. They are defining their relationship. And I think he says something. Oh, wait. What did I write? I wrote something about orgasms.
Yeah, you did.
I defined the relationship moment. Also, it is to be noted that we are 234 pages in, and there has been no penetrative sex, but there have been 2 orgasms.
yes. It's giving Brendan and Piper.
It is giving Brendan and Piper.
Yeah. I do think it's very important to define the relationship. In order for there to be safety, we need to know where we stand with people. It is fun sometimes to have that will they, won't they, I don't know where I stand with this person. That can build tension. But if you're actually going to go anywhere sexually, I don't know. For me, I need trust.
Yeah, and even if the defined relationship is we're friends with benefits or like...
Sure. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a commitment.
It's just so everyone knows what's going on in the situation.
We need to be on the same page because, consent.
Yes. Page 238, he says... So one of his dom rules is that she doesn't wear underwear, which I feel like that's... I see that in lots of books. They just don't like them to wear underwear, whatever.
I'm wearing underwear.
He says, get dressed and don't forget, skip the goddamn underwear. Sure. And so I wrote, okay, but if I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing underwear. Like, sorry.
Fucking insolent woman. Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
Folks with vulvas, chime in if you've been able to successfully. I can feel it now. I can feel it now.
Like leggings, whatever.
Sure. There's so many articles of clothing, especially a skirt and a dress, sans panties. Sure.
That's a sexy little moment.
Very breezy. You're gonna feel a lot of things.
Can be dangerous.
Yeah, it's risky.
Yeah,
and I can see it, but there's so many very restrictive pieces of clothing that maybe panties are helpful.
Jeans are just so like,
nah.
Ouch! I just can't.
Ugh.
I can't think about
the
it.
Seams.
Yeah, and then the zipper. I don't want that touching me. No. Okay, page 254. So in this scene, she has accidentally stabbed Brymer with scissors.
Who deserves it? You'll find out later.
And she basically she sees the blood, throws up, and then like passes out. Throws up on Keller, and then kind of like passes out. Obviously, that freaks Keller out.
Yeah.
So he's trying to figure out what to do because he's got puke all over his shirt and she's on the floor. And so he says, I take the scissors and cut a slit at the collar of my shirt. And then like the fucking Hulk, I rip the shirt open. Yeah, that was the only way to do that. Why did you do it? You just take it off.
Well, I mean, I could see it like rubbing the vomit all over him, taking it off that way. But like you could take it off from the without getting the outside of your shirt. No.
Just
we're being extra. We're being extra, Keller. Too much.
Later on, same scene.
Too less.
He's basically telling Lily that he did not enjoy seeing her pass out.
Aww.
Yeah. And so he says, okay, no more passing out and no more puking on my back. You're hot, Lily, but not that hot to forgive a second round of that shit. How hot is hot enough to let someone puke on you a second time?
What an excellent question.
Like, what is I'm picturing Lily as like Blake Lively hot.
She's got to be incredible. He's described her quite vividly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How hot is the hot? This has got to just be hyperbole. Because at some point, if the person you love...
He would let her puke on him again.
He's just being grumpy.
Yeah.
He's just being grumpy. I mean, if she needed to puke again on him, he's gonna rip off his shirt like the Hulk, and he's gonna be just fucking fine.
So stupid. And then she makes some kind of sassy comment, because like later on, I highlighted... Can you tell she's feeling just fine? Which I thought was weird. Like, is he talking to me? Why are you breaking the fourth wall?
Yeah, please. Yeah, it's like an actor looking directly at the camera.
Yeah, they do it like a couple times in this book where like she says something to the reader and he talks to the reader. I'm like, why are you talking? Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
I am not here. I need to be a fly on the wall of your sex life. Yeah, we'll go with it.
This is later on. She reopened her previous head wound
From the broom.
Yes,
people get beaten up over here.
Yeah, so he's very concerned. And she says, "You don't have to be careful with me. I'm a big girl and I can handle a solid pounding." She's talking about sex. If that's what you desire. It is what I desire, but I also don't want to give her a headache or cause any pain. I tilt her chin up and look at her in the eyes.
Chin tilt.
You're precious to me. Therefore, I will be as careful as I fucking want. Do you understand?
Aww.
And I said, come on. And I wrote a subversion of expectations, and maybe that's my kink.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, 1 minute we're the Hulk, 1 minute we're so tender.
Yes.
Aw, that is beautiful. Yeah, we need both. All right, the girlies need both. We don't want you to just be some sex god who's all macho and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We also want you to be madly in love with us.
Page 268. This is the third spicy scene, 264 pages in, and still no penetrative sex. And orgasms have abounded.
Yeah, because you know what? Women don't always get off from penetrative sex.
No. It's beautiful. Meghan Quinn.
Yeah, she know.
You can do it. And then the next page... The thing I just highlighted was I enter her the first inch because I wanted to say first official P&V sex was worth the wait, I feel like.
Yeah.
269 pages in.
And I think, yeah, I'm curious. Maybe that's frustrating to other people. I feel like if you're able to come, it's however you get there is great.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be penetrative sex.
And I believe that this scene, there's some restraints, some bondage happening, some being tied up. So that's something. If you want to,
if that's what you came for,
your kink,
yeah, it's going on here.
Page in the 260s. You can jump on over to that.
I will say, yeah, at the very end as well.
Really? I feel like I didn't read that scene. I don't remember it at all.
I swear it's there. I
believe you. Okay, page 281. This is morning after. He has sent
morning after
Laura and Brymer off on their own little mission away from the castle, conveniently. I'm gonna say a word that I never ever say.
Please.
So I might bleep it. I don't know. We don't. This word.
What page is it? I want to.
281.
281.
Because the thing is, this is not that bad of a swear word in other countries, like in Australia or in England, but here it's pretty bad. But I'll say it, and I might bleep it depending on how I feel when I edit this podcast.
We'll leave it to your imagination, maybe.
I mean, you can probably figure it out. But
sure.
He says, "I can't decide if I want eggs for breakfast or your."
Yes, it is. It is really off limits here.
Yeah, we don't say that unless you're like really trying to insult somebody.
I think it's why is it so offensive?
I don't know.
Why is it? It's used as an insult, but we say pussy.
Yeah, pussy doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah,
maybe it's my religious upbringing.
Yeah, well, I think most things. That's our entire podcast.
Yeah,
it all feels wrong to say.
Do I feel weird because of my religious upbringing?
Do I? Do I have some lingering effects from this trauma? I don't know.
But anyway, for that, I just wrote, this is a tough choice indeed.
Yeah, it really is. I think the choice to decide what to eat for breakfast.
Yeah. And I think that she says, why not both? And I agree. Why not both?
Yeah. We don't have to choose.
We can have eggs and pussy eating.
Yes. Maximum. Everyone can be happy. Get your protein.
Page 282. It says, as my orgasm ripped through me, he held me up at the waist. And I wrote, Jesus, what is that? 3 orgasms before noon? Because there's like 2 at breakfast and 1 in the shower.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on?
I mean, you gotta get tired after a while.
Later on down the page, 282, he made me come on his tongue. That's 4 orgasms before noon.
I'm really glad you're keeping track. I'm really glad you're...
This scene is wild.
Yeah. There's really something going on here. It's as if they've just started having penetrative sex.
But none of this is penetrative. This is all oral.
That's true, yes.
Like oral and then the shower head.
Are we horribly repressed and deprived sexually? Do we need to be having more 4 orgasms before noon days?
Do I need to have 4 orgasms before breakfast?
Before breakfast? Yeah. Maybe we should carve that out on our schedules. Do you think your partner would be in for that? I don't know. I
blood sugar, I need to eat. Would I be into that? I think that's...
it's more... You're tired, all right? No, my partner would be like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Love 100%.
Okay. Page 291. This is for my educated girlies.
Oh, please.
Who loves school? Raise your hand.
What page?
291.
I don't love school. It's a means to an end. I'm glad I went to school.
I like this kind of school.
This kind of school. I want to learn.
Now listen carefully as I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Every time you get one right, you get a reward. But every time you get one wrong, you get punished. I press a kiss to her shoulder blade, then to her neck, and then to her cheek. You're not allowed to come until I grant you permission. And do you understand? I'm smart and I'm sexy.
I am smart.
Let me answer trivia questions and give me presents.
This feels like the kind of school that I want to be into. He does say every time she gets it right, he says, "Good girl."
Mm-hmm. Yes. Praise kinks abound in this book. All right, this is my last note.
Oh my God. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So page 293. I just wrote, I tease her other hole with it. And so I just wrote butt stuff. There's butt stuff in this book, you all.
There really is. Yeah. I'm seeing some real details here. We will leave some things to the imagination. I feel like we do a good job of that. Like, we're not vividly describing. We don't
read the whole scene to you.
No, we are. I mean, we're going to leave
if you want me to.
Yeah. We're going to leave some of that to your imagination because it's better that way. But is that all of it? What's the trajectory of our sexual exploration past this point?
So I truly don't know how much further. So like this after this scene, they are like transitioning to T-Town.
Okay,
from the castle.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I will. Y'all have already caught on to this, but at this stage in the podcast, my co-host and I are big on what should we review this week? Oh my God, I love this book. Okay, I'll skim over it and make a few notes. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
That's genuinely how we're reviewing this, and we so there's some amount of like we get back in and we like review little pieces, and so we're not always going to hit all of it. Also, I think everyone would be bored if we just went through and just reviewed a whole book start to finish. I do have some from the last section, but yeah, maybe in the future. I feel like when we read like Emily Henry, like we will both read a book we haven't read before
eventually
at the same time,
for sure,
and then we will review it. There's something risky though about reading a smut book that you haven't read before.
True. I mean, I feel like.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Is to review them.
We can go into it. Like, if I don't know the author,
yes.
it's tricky. Like, Meghan Quinn, I trust that I know what I'm going to get. I like the way that she writes, so I'm not really worried.
I feel like, especially with slow burns, with slow burn smut, because I get invested and I keep reading, and then I'm so angry and disappointed when it doesn't change my life. When we finally get to the sex and it's not...
Yes, that can be very frustrating.
I'm not transfixed. And so, yeah, we have been really enjoying... I guess the purpose of this is to present to y'all our very most favorite.
Yeah.
Our very most favorite smut. So all of that to say, we do bounce around in our highlights. That's not because we didn't love it. That's not because we're skipping anything intentionally. That is because we have full-time jobs.
And it's already been 2.5 hours. So, that's
okay.
Fine.
All right, well, let me do a couple of highlights from the very end. We're talking chapter 23. This is when she is going into the castle to finally meet everyone. This is, what is it in the plot whenever they like have like the breakup, third act breakup. The third act breakup.
You crushed it.
I did it. So that is kind of what's going on here. She is going in. It's not a coronation, but she's going in to be presented. And I highlighted here in chapter 23, page 379. And he promised. He promised he wouldn't leave me. Guess I was completely wrong about that. My note is creating doubt and breaking trust with 3 red flags. I want to hit you with 3 rapid fire.
3 rapid fire red flags. Let's go.
Yeah. He was just neglecting me. This is her inner narrative. He doesn't want you. He lied. All you had to do was text, and that was it. But you couldn't do that.
All you had to do was...
That's what I'm saying.
All you had to do was stay.
Taylor knew. And then she said, and now there's gonna be a really good reason for his delinquency, but this is still toxic as hell. Let's just say it like it is.
Yeah. It's toxic.
It is.
And their whole relationship was built on trust, and he immediately breaks it.
And she was really scared. And
when things get just a little hard.
And here's the thing. We're going to see he takes ownership, and we love that, and we respect that. And
you're about to see our real opinions on Keller very soon.
Yeah, I do think, like, sexually, and yes, we will cover that in our very end synopsis. But yes, Keller, we love you sexually, but like this is childish. It is. It's so childish. This is something. This wasn't like, oh man, I had dinner with my parents and you said you'd be there and you didn't come. I really wanted you there. This is like, no. This is a huge, like,
introducing the new queen to a community of people.
Yes, I've never done this before. This is completely new, and you're my assistant. You're my personal bodyguard person here with me and my partner.
Right.
Like, this is multiple levels of betrayal, and I know, like, third act breakup, but this is like, I'm a little angry at how quickly she forgave him.
Yeah, it's so bad. And like, his one job, even outside of being her like life partner or whatever,
sure,
like, his job is to protect her and support her, and he didn't do that.
Yeah, even if they weren't having sex, like,
his job is to show up.
Yeah, that's literally his title. Yeah,
is he says his title, but I don't know what it is.
His position, yes, his aide to the heir. Like, so there's multiple levels here of her feelings of betrayal, because there's the the dominant submission, beautiful dynamic there. That's like, it's built on trust, and he talks a really big game the whole fucking book about how he is dedicated to his country. He is dedicated to her. He loves her. He's just recently said he loves her. Like, there's just like a lot of dedication. And this is like a pretty flagrant, and Kate, would you like to explore why he didn't come?
Yeah. So, he basically is an insecure little bitch.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So, a recurring theme throughout the whole book is that he's telling himself that he is not worthy of the queen because of his status as a peasant or whatever the fuck it is.
He's like, and then he was adopted by the king. There's like a whole bunch of wrong holes.
Yeah, but it's complicated, and he just basically feels like he's feeling unworthy even after she has said to his face, "I don't fucking care."
Yeah, she's not. I'm raised as a princess.
Like, I'm a normal person too.
Yeah.
This was thrust upon me. And yeah, like, I'm normal and you're normal. I just happen to have this title. It's like, come on. What? It just get, like, to me, it reads as insecure man. Like,
yes.
You can't handle a powerful woman? Like, what's the problem here?
You can't handle people talking about you, but you will put her in a position where she is going to be talked about. She's afraid. She's timid in front of a whole bunch of people.
This country doesn't trust her. Like, she's from America. Like,
she needed one thing to feel confident. One thing. You can be afraid. You can be upset. You can say 0 words, but you just need to fucking be there.
You just need to show up. Show your face.
Yes. If, like, not even... And he does, like, and I highlighted it later on, but, like, in chapter 24, but I stayed away for my selfish reasons. In the entire night, that's all I thought about. And I'm not sure there's any way I can make it up to her. It's like, okay, yeah. But here's the thing. I've been married for almost 8 years. There are some things where, like, yeah, I am so glad that you're sorry and you see the error of your ways. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're taking ownership. That is amazing. Please take ownership. Also, actions have consequences. You can't just do whatever you want and then say you're sorry and get away with it. And girlies, I want you to hear that. Everyone of all...
Girls, guys, non-binary folks.
Yes. please do not just let people get away with shit if it breaks your heart.
Even if they apologize. Look,
you need...
I'm going to quote Taylor Swift again.
Oh, please.
This is from an interview a while ago.
Yeah.
But people always harp on the fact that you have to forgive and forget to move on. You don't have to do any of those things to move on. You don't have to forgive. You don't have to forget. You can just move on.
Ooh, you don't have to forgive and you don't have to forget. You can just move on. And it sucks because it's like, yeah, they're soulmates or whatever and they should be together. But I think this is where... And I think Meghan Quinn, I get what she was doing here. I respect that. But the two mental health professionals in the room are going to speak on this. I can't.
We're gonna poop on this party.
I know, and I know it's so lame and it's so not hot. But like, I think that maybe that's the appeal of our pod skews, that we do bring in this angle, because there's so many reasons why this is not only like toxic and unhelpful, it's also dangerous because like that sets you up. Like, also. I'm kind of talking in circles about it, but she, towards the end, like he's like, I need to make it up to her. And then he makes these sweet gestures. I would have liked to have seen them have an honest conversation and her say that was really fucked up.
I mean, she's done it already. Like,
yes.
She said, you hurt me, like, before. She could have done it again.
Yeah. And then for her to say, these are the things, for them to have an honest conversation about, I need to rebuild trust with you before we can be together, instead of just like this, oh, I don't know. And then for her to say, for her to honestly do a little self-exploration and say, these are the things that would help me rebuild trust with you. This is what I need in order to rebuild this trust.
Yes, and I'm gonna do the A thing here, where I'm gonna pull in an attachment lens, because
please,
she don't got no parents no more.
Yes,
and I think the quick forgiveness is because I don't want you to leave me again.
Yeah. Ooh,
I can't be alone.
She's scared. She's in a new country, and her only like attachment person is him. Like they have this. Even if they were not romantically entangled, even if he was some, whatever. Who's the assistant on Ted Lasso?
The assistant. Oh,
he's got like the 4 kids.
He's got a girl's name, right?
Oh yeah, it's something. He's really wonderful, but like a character like that, like he's just there to support, and he's happily married. Even if that was the case, like this is a betrayal of someone that she trusts, and this is like her first trusting relationship. I guess Laura, she's also close with, but this is just then there's not even a good reason. It's because he was feeling insecure about something they had talked about extensively. That belonged to him. Yeah, that was his. And yeah, I don't like that you think you have to go to the literal king of a country to get your little pep talk, to get your life together. I'm glad he suspended him. And yeah. And I do appreciate that. And I think that, I imagine that's what Meghan Quinn was kind of getting at by like, he's making a repair, like he's taking ownership. Like, yes, but the bar is on the floor. Like literally. Like that's the least of what, and I'm not saying that like we should have these unattainable goals for repair in relationship. No, I think we should. But I think we should all have unattainable expectations for men. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, we should. Straight white men, you can never meet my expectations. Do better. But yeah, I do think that there needs to be some honest conversations. Like taking ownership is not enough, and writing sweet poems is not enough. And I don't know that, I'm not saying that Lily or any woman needs to be like, oh, I'm going to wallet myself forever and I'm never going to forgive you and you're going to have to jump through all these hoops to win back my trust. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But rebuilding trust is not a flippant thing. No. Like, this is not a flippant break of trust in this fictional story. And I feel like it's rebuilt in a really flippant way. Yeah, I know. I think she forgave him too easily, for sure. He didn't deserve that forgiveness for that. No. I don't think he did. We've covered it. We've covered it from a counseling perspective. That's your daily dose of mental health advice from us. Truly don't forgive people. I think I get salty about it because I have a lot of clients come in who are like, oh, he did this shitty thing, and then I let him back in because I needed him for something. And it's like, okay, you don't need him. Girlies, let's what's that TikTok song? It's the like, fucking queen. Oh, there's that TikTok sound that's like, he is not the love of your life. He's just a guy. Hit him with your car. Hit him with your car. Yes. Yeah, he is just a guy. What's the guy? Luke dump his ass.
Oh, yeah.
Dump his ass. And so, I don't know. Attachment, relationships are complicated. Yeah, men need to do better. And along those lines, women need to know
maintain
their worth.
Our power,
Yeah, maintain our power and our worth. Okay. So, a couple more highlights. Because then he tries to rebuild this trust, and I did say that he's taking responsibility. That's great. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Any other highlights here are me just highlighting him taking ownership. Okay, that's on brand for me.
That sounds about right. Nothing sexy here.
And there's really nothing sexy about that. What I did to you on the day of the welcoming parade was unforgivable, and I just highlighted it.
It was.
Yeah, it was unforgivable. You got it.
You're like Voldemort up in here with
yes. Why am I the way I am? I know exactly why I am the way I am. But yeah, I think so. Then she does kind of take him back, and then they have some little bondage moment sex at the end.
Some bondage makeup sex.
Exactly. They have makeup sex, and look, girlies, trust your guts.
Yeah.
Trust your guts and hold your standards high.
You are everything. He's just kin.
Yes. He's just kin. Mm-hmm. We love to see it. We absolutely love to see it. And then they're talking about how many kids they want on the last.
Oh yeah, because she said she was going to provide a whole bunch of heirs so nobody else can take the throne.
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have our mixed opinions on.
Yeah, you heard about that during ACOTAR. If you listened to ACOTAR.
Happy endings do not only have to
involve procreation.
Exactly, but
for her, she did say earlier in the book that she wanted to have a lot of babies. So.
This is very special and important to her, and I think the rebuilding of family is super beautiful here. Okay, we closed it out. Maybe not on a high note, but
yes. Well, we can do our little breakdown.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So, how are we gonna rate our hero out of 5?
Out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I do feel like
Brendan is the stick by which we are measuring these men.
Okay, a stick. So maybe we could do this with other. It is something to consider that we maybe break down relational. We have a sexual rating scale, and we have a character.
Maybe the distinction here is that the hero, when we rate the hero, that is like how good is he in bed? Would we let him date our friends?
Oh, good.
That is like, is he a good person?
As a person? Yeah, these are two different things. Yes. And here's the thing: we all come to Smut for different reasons. We're counselors.
Yes, fully employed.
Yes, we cannot not be interested and enjoy the like relational aspect of
yes.
But okay, what would we rate? I mean, so rating the hero, would we date our friends off the table right now? How would we rate him? Out of 5? Oh, this is tough. What's yours?
I'm probably gonna go with a 3.5.
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to offend you.
No, because I
the sex is so good.
The sex is hot,
but a lot of it's because of Lily.
Yeah, I think he's great. I don't want to call him a king. I don't want to do that.
I know. I don't.
And I'm not even sure, like I'll teasingly call my partner sir sometimes, but not in any kind of serious way. It just feels cheesy to me. And that's just my preference as a human. Yeah. If you like that, I don't. That's all you.
That's the only lens we can authentically bring to this, and I think we cannot emphasize enough that we love other folks' sexual perspectives.
Yes,
please.
And obviously, I enjoyed reading it. It worked for me.
It did the trick. And I think for my own, if I were to look at all of his qualities all together, but especially sexually, it would be hard for me to have sex with someone like that.
Yeah. I think
I would have to be so.
I'm not sure I'm capable of that amount of oral sex.
That's the problem. Yeah.
No, me doing it.
Okay, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Jaw.
Yeah, it hurts, dude. I'm not here to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So there's different, and I don't know. It would be fun maybe sometime to like. I would love to hear other people's perspectives on rating the hero.
Tips and tricks.
Well, oh yeah, well no, that too. Tips and tricks, y'all. But no, rating the hero. Because yeah, I think 3.5. But I'm curious what other folks would say. Sexually, he may be a 5 for you, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
He lives in a fictional land, so
he's not a real person. So yeah, and like obviously we're not letting this man date our friends. Like
0 out
this
of
is
10.
a 0 out of 5.
He may not.
He may not.
With a caveat, if he goes to therapy.
Okay, sure. He needs to go to therapy.
I think he could really work through some things.
Well, yeah, I mean, he probably has some attachment stuff.
His parents, he's an orphan. His parents died tragically.
Yeah. So he's got some attachment stuff, and we're not blaming him for his past trauma. However, in his current state, he is not equipped to handle an adult relationship with someone.
Very good. You know what? Trauma, it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to manage the effects of it.
Correct.
So it's our responsibility, but yes, we're never gonna blame him. Okay, but yes, it's his responsibility to go to therapy. If he went to therapy, and I would be interested in that sequel. And then we can reevaluate if we can date our friends.
Meghan Quinn, if you're listening.
There is a sequel coming.
To this
Summer
book?
of 2023, yeah.
How do you know this?
It's at the end of my book, because I finished the book.
Because you read it all the way through?
I
didn't do that. Okay. A sequel about them?
I couldn't tell.
Or is it just another one of her books?
It said, like,
I refuse to believe you.
It said, like, the sequel of it.
She lies on this podcast. I'm going to scroll all the way to the end. Oh, here's the description.
That she may not be in line for the throne, that, like, if an uncle comes back, that she may not be.
I have 2 responsibilities as the new heir to the throne. Number 1, get married. Number 2, have babies. Sure, becoming queen one day is part of those new responsibilities, but as long as King Theo is in charge, I don't have to add a coronation to my list. That's why I find myself in the throes of wedding planning, pre-wedding classes with my broody, overprotective fiancé, and counting down the days until we finally say I do. But with every day we grow closer to our wedding, we seem to grow apart.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. Our commonalities are tested, our faith in each other is questioned, and our safety is threatened. Ooh.
Okay.
We love a little danger. The only thing working, the command he has over me in the bedroom. Well, I feel like that might be a red flag.
Yeah.
I keep telling myself it'll all work out. We just need to make it to the wedding day. Except when the day finally comes, everything falls apart. We might have made it through the first few months together, but now I'm not sure we're going to make it out of this alive. Oh, it sounds thrillery. Oh, yeah, full of heat, suspense, and mystery. Okay.
This is a different vibe.
It's a different book.
Royally Not Ready. Interesting. Same characters, but very different.
Also, I will say, as someone who has planned a wedding and done a wedding, if you have issues planning the wedding, you are going to have issues in your marriage. That is... Planning a wedding involves conflict resolution and communication with each other.
Truly.
If you have issues there, it's not going to get better, my friends.
Y'all, I need for y'all to hear this.
Yeah. You are going to be in a stress state for a long time with this person. And if y'all can't make it work like that, it's not going to get easier because marriage is hard and you're going to be in a stress state for other periods of time in your life.
Yeah, it's hard but it's not, some people when they hear hard, I've heard stories of people are like, they always say marriage is hard. And then you hear about their marriage and it's like, oh, that's not what we mean when we say hard. We mean that it's hard in that there are conversations. You're going to have to work through shit. Mm-hmm. But like you should feel safe. To be clear.
Yes.
But yes, engagement is tough, especially for children when we were married. We were married as actual children.
Child brides.
Yeah, we were child brides. But yes, it is engagement. It's gonna bring out your stuff and you gotta work through it. It's an opportunity.
Rapid fire, our heroine.
I really liked her.
I like her too.
I would say
she's pretty like, I like her about as much as I like Piper.
Yeah, I can't put a finger on exactly why I would like Piper more. Maybe I would say for Lily like a 4-ish, 4.5.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah, I really like. I respect her. I enjoy her. I don't know I feel like I would know if it was 5.
Yeah. She's funny. She has a good character arc. She doesn't change who she is for the sake of other people.
She's strong. She's very sexually empowered. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like offend anyone by not saying 5 stars.
She's great. I mean, not everybody can be 5 stars.
True.
Did we give Piper 5? I can't remember.
Surely.
I don't remember.
Surely we did. Were we rating it? I think we were just talking about Piper.
Okay, the story. Was there one? Did we like it? There's a story?
There is.
Did I like the story? It wasn't compelling, I don't think.
I mean, this was Princess Diaries.
It was the Princess Diaries.
Like,
yeah.
Pretty, like, I knew exactly where the story was going.
Mm-hmm. I
knew exactly how this is, I mean, except for the sexual tension and everything. Like, I knew exactly where the plot was going. The fish and the things about this Nordic country threw me sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
It tripped me up every time.
When they were talking about the cod and the carving of the stuff, I was like, I really don't care.
I know.
I was like, I don't care about the fish. I don't care about calling in sheep. I don't care about any of that.
But like, you have to have something else in a story.
Yeah, and I think what she was doing by, building the world and basically making up traditions for this country. That's great. I just didn't care.
That's great. They were solid. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did give them something to talk about. I think the story, though, Piper and Brendan, amazing.
Beautiful. I cared about those fish.
Yeah, I cared about those fucking fish. Yeah. Oh, I really craps. Yeah, Akatar.
Obviously, that's only
Outlander,
story.
Akatar. But Akum is apparently not. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, compared to other stories, this was like, okay, yeah, sure. So maybe like a 2.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's there, and the plot moves along. It does what it's supposed to do. There is a fun twist where, the person they trust is the guy leaking the information, and that's fun.
Yeah, there's some betrayal.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yes.
But, it's fun.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We worry about the right holes.
We've talked about this a little bit, but the tropes that were present, I'm going to pull up our master trope list. This is enemies to lovers. This is slow burn. This is close proximity. Kind of forced proximity, too. Grumpy sunshine. Who did this to you?
Yes. I also put
training room a little bit, maybe.
Yes, so I put training room, also like forbidden love.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
The off limits element for those of us raised in purity culture. Something about off limits sexual partners can be really hot because
sure,
all sex was off limits.
Yeah,
so
off limits is hot for sure.
Yeah. Okay. What are some more? Chosen one. What do we think?
Chosen one. No, I feel like that's like kind of
Harry Potter?
Yeah, it's a Harry Potter thing.
Oh my god. She's chosen one.
Is she?
She's the heir to the throne.
I mean, her bloodline.
Okay, you have a point. Opposites attract.
Yeah.
Sure. Second chance. She gives him a second chance, but that's not really. This is more like exes from a long time ago who get a second chance.
I don't really like second chance romance.
Really?
No, they've already done it before.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
I like new sex.
Yeah, you want new, fresh sex. Okay. Stuck together. I'm on the article.
Oh, you're on the article. I was just on the one that you made.
Well, this article covers it all.
You linked to the article.
Secret identity, no, but she does kind of have a secret identity that he reveals to her.
A little bit.
I know it.
She does have your the trope that I don't really love. She's got a gay best friend.
Yeah. That's kind of appropriating, taking advantage of.
Yeah, so the gay best friend trope it's tired, and we don't need to do that anymore. I liked the character, Timmy. I thought he was funny, but I feel
he's used for comedic relief.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little stereotypical.
Yeah. I think it was not necessarily the heart of it, but that is how it kind of read. Fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was definitely a fish out of water. Sworn off relationships. He's sworn off a relationship with her. He was trying to anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Alpha hero. Would we say he's an alpha hero?
Alpha. Yeah, I would probably describe him as that.
Yeah.
Morally gray, no. He's a very like, what's the opposite of moral? He's like, I'm trying to think of the moral alignment. Like, he's not chaotic good. He's like lawful good.
Lawful good.
Like, he's the black and white.
Well,
right,
which is
wrong.
why it's so like when he betrays her, it's so offensive.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is so clearly bad.
Not good enough for her. That's on here.
Yep, for sure. Family, they're
guardian.
Yep. Secret/lost heir.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I like that under Beauty and the Beast. One of them is rake in love.
I know. A rake. What is it? A reformed rake makes the best husband.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yes, he does.
Okay, last one. Smut. How many chili peppers out of 5 do we give this book?
I mean, a 5-star smut.
Yeah, this is a 5 out of 5. The smut takes a while to get to, but there's tension the whole time. And when you get to it, it is like the next 7 chapters and then again at the end.
Yes.
And it's like long scenes, very descriptive.
This is like, if you're here for like a long, like you want like mostly like you're coming to this to get off. Like, this is the book for you.
Yeah, this is, we're focused on the right holes for this book for sure.
Yeah, if you notice, our problems with this book are all about the wrong holes.
Yes. With the right holes, we have no problems. There's no problems.
We have no complaints.
I have no complaints about the smut in this book.
No complaints. It is, she does a lot great in that, and we respect it.
Yeah.
Okay,
closing comments. Anything else you want to share with the people?
This was magical. I just want everyone to enjoy their sexual experiences.
Yeah.
And be safe. Don't date a guy like this. The character parts anyway.
Yeah.
Sexually, I hope all of you find.
I hope you find that many orgasms.
If this is your lane, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So until next time, if you want to contact us, you can contact us at ourkinkykindlespod@gmail.com.
Beautiful.
We are in the process, and by process I mean it entered my brain during this TikTok. What the fuck is wrong with me?
We've been recording for a hot minute.
Yeah, during this podcast that maybe we'll get some TikToks up, I think.
Yes.
Until next time, remember, potatoes aren't sexy, you all.